Oh, hey guys, didn't see you there. What's up? I guess I was gonna put on my headphones, but I guess I'm not doing those today. Okay, hi everybody. Thank you for all the chips and the membership renewals and yeah, woohoo! Hey, it's been 84 years. How's it going? How's my audio? Wow, it's been a long time since I've done this. Am I? Maybe I'm too scared to come back into the stream. I don't know. Maybe I'll just wait out here. Did you guys see that weird little animal go by? That was weird. Weird. You call him a coward?
How dare you? How dare you?
That was a weird bug, dude. Ma, there's a weird bug outside. Anyway, wow, that was a lot of chips. Thank you. Okay, sure, let's pop back in. What? Wow, stinger, incredible, beautiful even. Wow, so that's definitely not how my head's turned, but that's fine. I didn't need it anyway. That's okay. I don't want my head to be facing right. That's okay. I got addicted to be grounded because of you. Good. As you should. 5 months with La Crichera. What exciting. Hello. Who snapped my neck? I didn't want my neck to work. It's fine. It's who needs it, honestly? I certainly didn't. I got back into Darkest Dungeon because of you. Good taste. Wow, I've been really a good influence on you guys lately, huh? Ma, there's some weird bug on my screen. All right, one sec. Okay, cool. Let me fix my neck, first of all. We're gonna be doing this a lot today. This is gonna be a lot of the stream today, is me doing what I'm about to do. I'm gonna stand up, I'm gonna fix my neck. It's not gonna look like I'm standing, but I promise I am. Oh. Okay. It got worse, hold on. Huh. Okay, I have another idea. One second. Don't worry, guys. I'm a genius. What you guys might not know about me is I have genius level intellect. Whoopee! Okay, so sorry about that. My bad. Anyway, where was I? New Ruze lore? True. New Ruze lore, it's real. I'm gonna try to keep up today on reading soups and I don't know, just fucking I'm gonna try to keep up today on keeping up is what I'm gonna do. So it's gonna be a lot of yapping. Today I'm doing the monthly resolve. Hi, I'm Crimzon Rulez. I'm Elysium's greatest monster. I'm your least favorite idol. I'm the Midwest fantasy VTuber. They call me Big Mama. They don't call me that. There was something else I was gonna say, but I can't remember what it was, so I give up. Anyway, the point is, I'm the best. I'm the best around. I've got a lot of titles. That's all you need to know about me. I totally didn't miss you because that would be cringe. That would be cringe. I hope you don't. I hope you don't miss me. Yikes. So here's the problem. Every time I turn to look at the other screen, it decides that's where front is. So maybe I'm just gonna put you guys over there. Maybe I'm gonna put you over there because I'm tired of doing this. Weird. I need to change my...
Tee.
That'll teach you, you little bastard. Okay. Anyway. Okay, I lied. I'm not going to be able to keep up with all that today, but I'm gonna try anyway, I guess. Welcome back. Thank you, Ingrid. Hope you had a nice break. Happy you're back. Yeah, so the first thing I wanted to do today was talk about my break a little bit and talk about things I've done. Calibration go burr. I will talk a little bit about that too, because I want to use, I fucking wasted a pretty goddamn penny on my beautiful full body tracking suit, so I would certainly love using it at some point. I hope. I don't know. Anyway, what was I saying? I was going to say that, what was I going to say? Oh. Something. I forgot a word. I forgot a lot. I'm very tired. I'm very tired right now. How could you be gone? I had to find other forms of entertainment. I had to touch grass. You got into Formula One? What happened to you? Oh no. Oh, you're changed. You're a changed man. Okay, well, I'm sorry that happened to you. I hope you get better soon. Welcome back, Dudu-san. You big ol', very cool, not tsundere. Awesome guy. I see that you said cutie pie, but I'm sure that's not what you meant. It was my birthday last Saturday. Can I please get a happy birthday? Maybe even heart hands? Okay, you can get a happy birthday, no heart hands. So here's your happy birthday. Hold on. Happy birthday. Whoa! Maybe the best birthday wish anybody's ever gotten. I don't want to put words into your mouth on your week later post-birthday fugue state that you find yourself in, but I do think that might have been the best happy birthday anybody on the planet has ever received. So you're welcome for that. Sana says, glad to see you back, Ruze. Spent my time grinding Monster Hunter. Ooh, Wilds. I want to play really bad because Legia Cruise is in it now, but I also don't have the space to download it, so we'll see. No joke, the F1 movie was sick. Welcome back, Large Mother. Oh, they did make an F1 movie. That's so weird. I guess it makes sense, though. Sure, there's a lot of drama in that. It's kind of horse racing adjacent. When are we getting all Formula One racers and cars combined into single anime girl characters that run around a track really fast? Like, you have to combine their car and the person, though. Banana. Thank you for 17 months of being an Axel. And thank you, Kristen, for a full year. Kiko. Thanks. I have been okay. I'll talk about it in a little bit. We could fund it? No, let's not fund it. I find it exceptionally odd. You know what? I'm just going to let my muse guide me. I'm going to talk about whatever I want at whatever pace I want. If my head doesn't stop losing its tracking, I might crash the fuck out, actually. That's okay, though. We're going to do it again. I'm going to fix it. 1 second. I might just have to stand for this whole stream, which is fine. No chairs for me. I'll tell you what. Maybe I'll do something like this. Hold on. I've got an idea. 1 second. Ignore my body language. I learned how to roller skate backwards while you were away. That's bonkers, but pretty cool. I like that. Okay, so I've been held hostage here for 11 months, Chartreuse. Yes, thank you for 11 months. Whoopee! Ribbons! Congratulations on learning to roller skate backwards. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of fun. I don't even know how to roller skate forwards appropriately. Tazo. I almost called you Tazgore, like it was Tazdingo. But Tasogare, thank you for being a baby Ruzader. Welcome for a full month. So sorry. Thanks for 10 months of being a jackass. Ruze, you've saved me from playing more Uma. Thank you. Hey, no problem. I'm always here to save people from playing more Uma. Probably. Babylon, new internet rule. If it exists, they will make it into an anime girl. Okay, so I did want to talk a little bit about that real quick. How the fuck did we come here? Did we get to this point? Like, where is the intersection of some dude sitting alone in his room? He's like, I fucking love horses. I love horse racing. It's so cool, dude. That's my obsession. That's my thing. That would be like me being like, I don't fucking know, Lord of the Rings. Now, how do I take it so that everything in it is a bunch of anime girls, no matter what? So the Great Eye of Sauron is some fucking yandere, like staring down from floating above a tower. and like fucking Boromir, some tsundere for fucking Aragorn, I guess. And then you got like all these fucking it's an anime girl adventure. All the goblins in Moria, anime girls. The Balrog, anime girl. Fucking I don't know. Elrond, anime girl. How does somebody sit in that room and is like, I fucking love racing and horses, but it would be a lot better if I pretended those horses were anime girls. Thank you for the soup, by the way. Zuna says, I can't believe you missed the first week of Gay Wrath Month as the ultimate wrath icon. It's okay, I was conglomerating my wrath. I was giving everybody in the LGBTQ plus community a moment sort of like Elden Ring-esque, where the gods had abandoned them and they had to find their own wrath within themselves before I made a dramatic return at the dire hour to deliver my wrath Azura-like unto the planet. Anyway, yeah, but welcome back. I didn't want Pride to be over, so I picked another sin to embrace. You're welcome. Admit it, you took a break because you're scared of horses? Yeah. Yeah, I am. What's up, Apollo? No, I took a break because I'm tired. I'm still tired, but I'll talk about that in a minute. I just wanted to talk about anime girl horses for a second because I just don't understand how we get from point A to point B. I'm not even complaining at this point. Like, don't get me wrong, my gut instinct is to be like, what the fuck? But I am not complaining. I'm being so fucking for real when I say I just don't know how we get to that logical leap. How do we go from like, I like competitive chess. What if competitive chess, everybody's pieces were anime girls, and then the person at the top was a different anime girl who's kind of like visualizing them? You know what I mean? That's crazy. Not in a bad way. It's just, I don't know. Totally didn't miss your face. Welcome back from the swamp. Holy shit. Thank you, Keychain, thank you, Keychain, for the magenta soup. Words are easy. I'm so good at them. You know about Gajinkas? Yeah, I mean, I've heard of them. I thought it only applied to like fucking Pokemon or whatever. It's the spark of whatever made Hitalia happen. Oh. Yeah, no, that checks out. Sakura Mikage, thank you for 18 months. That's a year and a half. Crazy. I mean, we have hot gun boys and swords too. The horse girls seem to fall in line with it all. I'm just saying, anthropomorphism has definitely stepped up a couple levels, because this isn't like what if horses could turn into like anime girls. This isn't what if swords could turn into hot anime boys. This is quite literally, I like horses. I like the history of horse racing. I am now going to anthropomorphize them. Something about it hits different to me because it is real events that have happened. I'm like, huh? Wait a minute, huh? Like, do you want a bug game where they turn into anime girls? That would immediately remove all charm from the bugs, so no. No, I mean, anime girls are cool. They're super great. I get it. Incredible. Very charming in their own right. If my aunts turned into anime girls, 0% interest. I am negative interested. Wait until you find out there's 3 horse goddesses, and that's their what? What? Sorry, huh? There's a fucking like deification. There's a divine plot line running through Uma Musume. Vampish Mick, thank you for 2 months of being a Ruzader. So can we get a Zephyr Kajinka, or do I have to flirt directly with the axe itself? The axe itself. Don't be a coward. If you're gonna flirt with inanimate objects, accept what you're doing. Jojo BB says, you can put anime girls into everything if you try hard enough. I'm aware of the phrasing. Also, hi, I guess. Not like I missed you. Thanks for 11 months. Not like I missed you. You! Thank you for 18 months. Welcome back. I wasn't lonely at all.
Wow.
Thanks. Me neither. Okay. Hello, and thank you for a year and a half. What are we talking about right now? Oh, you guys it's a roguelike with lineages. Bonkers. All right, you know what? Crazy. Uma Musume, you have my respect. I don't know how we got here. I'm not complaining. I just don't know how it happened. It's funny that we're there. I'm glad that this is the timeline I'm fucking around in. Iwashi! I learned about a pretty dragonfly called a Chotonbo, butterfly dragonfly, while you were away. Hope you're well. Let's shorten that down to just butter dragonfly. Also, that sounds awesome. I saw some butterflies and some dragonflies while I was gone. I actually did a little bit of, I did a bit of a dalliance, if you would. A bit of, a sabbatical, loitering in a swamp, basically. I found a swamp, I loitered in it. It wasn't as awesome, or it wasn't as mystical as it sounds. I literally just fucking hung out in a swamp. A butt dragon. Yeah, we'll cut it down to butt dragon. We'll skip the fly, just butt dragon. Seriously? Thanks for 11 months and welcoming me back. I did see turtles. So I went to a swamp. It was cool. I saw some turtles. I saw some dragonflies. My hands aren't lining up with where they actually are, but that's crazy how far away those are, but that's okay. Boop. I got to get a modem for this, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about the swamp first. So I went to a swamp. It was very fun. It was very cool. It was widowy epic or whatever. And I that's it. I saw a bunch of cool stuff. Man, I didn't actually do a lot at the swamp. Like, I thought about, like, oh, well, maybe I should take a bunch of pictures and stuff like that. And there's a couple photos that I still have that I haven't posted yet. But mostly I was just kind of vibing. But, so I'm walking around this area, and it's not actually a swamp. It was like this sort of like a park or whatever, or sort of like a preserve. It wasn't even that big. I stopped there on the way. I was doing some sort of like shopping, and I had to like go a little further out. I had to drive a little further out in my little shitty cart or whatever. And I saw this, and I was like, I'm gonna pull over. I'm gonna stop here, like on a whim, mostly. And I go, and I do a little walk. I do a little. I'm doing my little wandering thing, and I found a section of it that was swamp, and it was purposely swamp. It was a wetland, and it was like a wetland that was trying to showcase like why wetlands are important and blah 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 blah. And there's this beautiful bridge across the middle. It was really pretty. It was very scenic. However, I'm gonna tell you something, and this is foreshadowing, so pay close attention. This is important because this is foreshadowing. There you go. That's a better Sam. So I went there, and I go to the swamp area, and I'm like, cool, swamp area. This is made for me. And I see a lady, some young lady, laying in the grass. She's reading a book. She's laying on her back in the grass. She's reading a book. Sun's kind of shining on her. Very pretty. Sure. What a beautiful moment. Not the lady. The moment was beautiful. I mean, the lady was fine, I'm sure, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, lady's laying in the grass. She's reading her book. And I'm like, I don't know if I would be doing that. So I do my little walk. I walk through the bog. I mind my fucking business, as you should, as you fucking should. I walk around, I see some cool bugs, I see some cool turtles, I see some cool tadpoles, I see some cool frogs. I take a few pictures, I leave. I walked around the little preserve for a bit, and there was a lot of cool little mini biomes and stuff like that to explore. I was like kind of looking around at like this really like wooded area with a ton of like tangle vines choking out some trees. And I was checking out this sort of like high grass field area where the grass was as tall as I was. Anyway, I do all this, I go home, and nothing seems amiss at first. I'd gotten a few mosquito bites, nothing you don't expect. It's fine, it's summer, you're in a swamp, it's gonna happen. But I thought to myself, man, sure hope I didn't wander through any mites while I was out there. And a day passes, nothing wrong. Day 2 passes. I find welts all over me, like big red welts. I got bit up by tons of bugs because bugs love me, and they're my best friends, and they really wanted to get a little. They wanted to give me a little on the leg. They want to give me a little, and I get that. That's beautiful of them. That was very nice. But I have never reacted to a bug bite like this. This was not mosquito bites. I'm almost certain it's the type of mites that bite you. And I'm going to tune out if you have any body horror issues or anything. I'm going to tell you how this works. I did some Googling because I was like, what the fuck is happening to me right now? So what happens is these mites, what they'll do is they bite you and they inject a sort of saliva, like a anticoagulant, acidic saliva. And what it does, it melts your flesh a little bit. And then they form a straw out of the melted flesh, and that solidifies, and they drink a bit of your blood. But it leaves a very irritated, like, small hole where they bit you, obviously. And I guess maybe I've developed an allergy to mites. It's been a long time since I've been outside and I've gotten bit by those mites. When I was a kid, my parents told me that what happens is they climb inside of you. Like, this was just common knowledge, right? It was common knowledge that they climb inside your flesh and they live in there. And the only way to stop them was usually to paint over them with nail polish so you could suffocate them because they wouldn't be able to breathe from the surface. But that is not what they do. I did some research. They bite you, they make a straw out of your dead flesh, and then they leave. But their larvae can hang on your clothes for a while, and then they become adults. When they leave their larval stage, they also bite you. So I assume what happened was I got a bunch of larvae on my clothes, and then they probably just sat on my skin, and I didn't realize it, and they turned into adults in the night and bit me. They want to give little kiss, but they have no lips. Exactly. So always take a very nice, serious, warm shower and scrub your legs really good after you're done walking around in the grass, especially in summer. But anyway, that sucked, and I still have the welts somehow. I don't know how long ago that was now, like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. I still have them. I am still, like, itchy as hell. It's very frustrating. I've been practicing, like, ascetic monk levels of self-control not to itch, so that I don't leave big, like, gaping craters in my flesh. Because you can really itch those bad boys, and it'll be bad. You're basically their dad, if you think about it. True, Apollo. And now they're all dead. Probably. I think they have very short life cycles. Oopsies. Cariel, thank you for 2 months, by the way. Does Swamp hit different since playing Grounded? Yes. Yes, it does. Thank you for asking. I've always liked Swamp, and now I really like Swamp. But what about Bog Witch? What was her role in all of this? Okay, so here's her role. Think back to my foreshadowing moment I told you about. Remember when I said this is foreshadowing? Imagine laying on your back, ass, back, shoulders, back of the head to the ground. And compare that to the fact that these bites went, and I never sat down, I never crouched, but these bites have wandered all the way up to pretty close to my groin. I'm just saying, this motherfucker was trying to whimsy max and have her, like, beautiful swamp girl moment or whatever. I bet that did not go well. I bet that did not go well. I'm sorry to say, you probably got bug bites, like, in places you really don't want bug bites. Your ass gonna be itchy. It's gonna be a bad time for you. And I just got it on my legs. It's hard enough to have the self-control not to itch your legs. That's crazy, dude. Cat Thistle. Hi to my favorite monster. Sorry, I'm late. Glad your throat survived karaoke, even if your neck keeps breaking. Have fun. Nyah. Thank you. I'll talk more about what I did on my break and why my throat did not survive and will not survive. But thank you, Cat Thistle, and thank you for the soup. Yum, 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 yum. Anyway, so yeah, she had a moment of, like, probably, like, whimsy and fun. She probably went home. She's like, wow, that was beautiful. I should get out in nature more. I should lay in the grass and read my book. Don't do that near a swamp, dude. It's not a good idea. Or near really tall, like, wild grasses. If you want to do that in, like, a park maybe that's mowed frequently, or you want to do that in, like, you know, somewhere that's well tended to, or, like, tends to have a lot of, like, foot traffic, probably that's fine. Don't do that in a nature preserve where, like, animal life is encouraged to grow. That is where you will find mites, and that's not a bad thing. Mites, I mean, they're just a part of nature, baby. But that is not for you to be laying in the grass and being whimsical to. That is not laying in the grass and being whimsy time. Alvain, did you scratch your chest hard enough to give yourself scars? Holy shit. RJ, thank you for 7 months, by the way. Anyway, I feel bad for her. I'm sure she had a wonderful day. I'm sure she had a terrible week. Sorry, lady in the swamp. I did not find any bog witches, tragically, because if I did, I would have asked for untenable power. I would have asked to be knighted as the bog knight immediately, on the spot. I'd be like, make me swamp knight. Make me the greatest bog knight that ever lived. Can witches knight you? I guess not. Maybe that's a nobility thing. I don't care. Speaking of, I want to talk a little bit about things I've been partaking in, media I've partaken in while on this break. But first, let me reset my tracking and talk a little bit about tracking. Remind me, I'll get back to that. Oh, hey, my hand's behind me now. That's great. That's where that's supposed to be. I'll get back to talking about media in a second. But let me talk about tracking. So I have a solution that I'm going to be working on. I think part of the problem is that, yeah, actually, there I go. Part of the problem is that it is, when I fixed my entire internet and my whole, like, wagon, oh, that didn't work. Hold on. Good enough. When I fixed my internet in my entire wagon, what I had done was I moved my modem and my router to a centralized location near the center of the wagon, and then I connected LAN cables and I ran wires across the top of the wagon, and I put them in like little brackets, and I kept them up in the corners and hidden inside of like a little like wire protector, so that I could have internet anywhere in the wagon without constantly dealing with spotty Wi-Fi, essentially. But is she single though? Who, the lady who got bit up by mites? I don't know, maybe. But anyway, the problem with this now is that my modem is no longer right by my streaming PC, which means I have kind of bad connection to the suit. So what I think I need to do, and this is the current plan for me, is I'm going to go and I'm going to buy a separate modem, and this modem's entire purpose is just going to be to connect to my suit. I don't know how that works yet. I'm talking to the same guy, my buddy who helped me set up the whole like LAN system throughout the wagon. I'm asking him about advice on it and how I can hopefully get a modem that is only dedicated to the suit and has nothing else on it, so there's no like issues with tracking. Because right now, what I think is happening is it's having to go through multiple walls, even if they're shitty little fiber walls or whatever, little fake drywall. And that is kind of just killing the connection like piecemeal until it makes it to the modem and makes it back, and that's just fucking me up. Anyway, real quick, catching up. Kit! Thanks for 11 months. Thanks for 11 months. Yeah, people are gonna think you like me. Yikes. Also, good thing you didn't find a bog witch. You just owe her money. You think so? I think I could convince a bog witch. To knight me. I've got a big axe. I'm really cool. Like a bog, I have hidden depths and a sort of reserved beauty that most people don't appreciate. Hey, welcome back, I guess. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for 16 months. Anyway, so the plan, I think, is I'm going to try to set up a router that is individual, or that is specifically to connect to the Rococo suit, and I hope that will fix the tracking, because right now what's happening is I'm looking at the Rococo app, and I am slowly drifting forward with every hand movement. Every small gesture, I'm sliding away from the, like, middle area, and I do a lot of hand gestures, so that's not tenable. That's just not going to work. Who are you, King Arthur? Actually, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So I've been consuming media on my break because I never have time to just consume media for fun and not content. And I've consumed not a ton, not as much as I wanted to, because I had a lot of work to do too and a lot of homework to catch up on. But I did consume an okay amount of media. And just like a day and a half ago, while I was working on this, actually, the graphics for the Resolve, I found a new TTRPG I really want to try out. So I need to try out Root, first of all. That's still on the docket. I still really want to do that. But am I King Arthur? No, I'm not King Arthur. I'm afraid not. Camelot is not mine. I'm not the rightful ruler who pulls a sword from a stone or whatever. That's not my thing. I'm not cool enough to pull a sword from a stone. Tragically. I guess I did. There was that one dream I had where I pulled Zephyr out of a stone. Or I guess I broke a stone that Zephyr was on. It was a weird dream. Anyway, don't worry about it. The point is, yeah, I'm not King Arthur, but I picked up a new TTRPG I really want to run. It's super fucking beautiful. Like insane art. It is very flavorful, and it's relatively rules light in a way that I really like, because it's not about having less rules. It's about having succinct rules. Really fast, easy to understand, well-written rules that just get to the point and skip over any fluff, right? Mothership, no, I don't think you're gonna be able to guess what it is. I doubt you will guess what it is. It's probably not super ridiculously well-known, but it is from, I'll give you a second to try. Will I name it? I will name it. And I'll tell you about it in a second. Nimble, no. Fabula Ultima, no. Fabula Ultima's, I would argue Fabula Ultima, while not well known, if you were comparing this to like video games, it would be like a AA video game, right? Like if D&D and like Daggerheart are AAA studios type of stuff, and like everybody knows about them, and then Call of Cthulhu's up there, and Pathfinder's up there. I would argue that Fabula Ultima is minimum AA. Holy shit, Trekkie got me immediately. Yes, it's Mythic Bastionland. So Mythic Bastionland is from the same person who did Into the Odd, and he has a really good talent, I've noticed from reading the rules on it, for writing really concise rules, but more importantly, he has really good sense for like insanely mythological feel. Like he can create a sense of mythology so much faster than something like D&D, which is nothing against D&D. D&D is very good for sort of a video gamey dungeon romp, right? But Mythic Bastionlands, just to give you a quick rundown, I'm not going to go into it super long because I don't want to go crazy with you. But if I will give you one entry, and it'll be the entry I rolled. So while I pull this up, I'm gonna tell you about what it is. So basically the idea is that you're all knights of the realm. You do not get a choice in this, you will be playing a knight. And that sounds like a bad thing, but I promise it's a good thing. And you are all questing after the same thing. It's called the city. And the city is like this vision that all knights aspire to have enough fame and fortune and glory to go after. And the knights themselves are chosen by seers who knight them, but you're not supposed to pick your title. You can technically pick your knight, but the game encourages you heavily to roll on a table of 72 different knights. 72. I rolled the Violet Knight, in case you're wondering. So if I had to roll on this table real quick. So the Violet Knight, this is gonna sound weird because they come with abilities, but it's not like D&D abilities, right? It's not like, oh, you can do a sneak attack, backstab damage, and does +2 damage. These are esoteric, super Arthurian, fucking out there abilities. Let me go see if I can find my entry. Also, every knight comes with beautiful art and a poem on their page. Only 40 pages of this 260 page book or whatever are dedicated to rules. Literally, the rest are dedicated to the knights and the myths associated with them. So when you start a campaign or start a session, essentially, you are also supposed to roll on a table that tells you which myths you'll be dealing with. And it could be anything from the dragon, the tower, to a giant hole opening in the ground. I rolled the gargoyle as my chosen myth, right? So check this out. On the page, the Violet Knight, there's a poem that goes with it. A lightless glow from 'neath a dream illuminates the fabric seam. So what does this knight come with? What happens? First of all, you have to pick a seer, or a seer picks you rather, and deems you knightly, which is really fucking cool. Really fucking cool. Let me pin the name of this in chat real quick for you as well, so that you have the name readily available. Mythic. Hold on. I just bought the hardcover of this. I'm waiting for it to come in. He's back with the milk and cigarettes. Hey, wait a minute. Adrian, thank you for a year and a half. Also, a year and a half as an Axel. Hell yeah. Welcome back, and thank you for a year and a half as an Axel. Hi, Ruze. Stream title and thumbnail reminded me of hearing someone sing Mr. Brightside during a karaoke contest while I was getting dinner from a food truck on the second night of it. Who's that? Hashiria. Sorry. Hashiria. I almost said Hashiria. Thank you. The suit, by the way. So anyway, what system is it running off of? So it's still running off the system Into the Odd, which was their original system, but it's a little bit more complex. But check this out, right? So every knight comes with a kit, and every knight is chosen by a seer. My seer, this is how crazy this is, was the Gut Seer, which is literally a pulsing, fleshy mass of entrails sprawled across a stained floor. When spoken to, the stains and the intestines themselves will spiral into different shapes to try to communicate messages and omens to you. The only desire it has is to do its duty. A lot of seers are very traditional, like the broken seer or the old seer. Some of them are seers made completely of starlight that only appear in your dreams. I got fucking intestines on the ground that just communicate through messages, through symbology, right? So what does my knight do? First of all, I come with a free grand mace, which is sort of like a pole mace. It's not like a warhammer or a heavy maul. It's like a spherical mace on the end of a long pole. I get a flattering hand mirror. This is where it gets really Arthurian. A flattering hand mirror which only shows the viewer their ideal version of themselves. Isn't that weird? Isn't that a weird thing to have? They're giving you tools that aren't about combat or anything besides flavor and roleplay. There's ways you can use this, right? You can use this in a way that is interesting, but it feels mythological. I come with mail armor and reflective scale mail. So scale armor that is reflective like a mirror, which is fucking sick. And I come with a nameless steed that you roll on a table for. So let me roll 2d6 real quick. I'll see what I get. So on a nameless steed table, right? Every knight gets something that they can roll to further flavor themselves. Mine is my steed. Some people's are their weapons. Some people's are their, like their special abilities or their hobbies. So I rolled a 1 on this table. So a seer ordered me not to name the steed. And the reason I can't name the steed is because I was told by my gut seer I'm not allowed. But this steed can ride on seawater specifically. So it's like a fucking nameless Kelpie, essentially. Just rides around on seawater, no problem. You can get things like, you can't name it because it will die if named. And it seems more comfortable at night type of deal. Like, you get this like weird sort of esoteric what the fuck situation going on. Also, every knight comes with an ability. Now, some of them are like, I have an ability to swing my sword super hard and it does extra damage as long as I don't move this turn. That's very classic RPG. Do you wanna know what my fucking ability is? And again, I love this. This is just super flavorful. My ability is I can grasp any metal object, and as long as it is in my hand and I choose to do so, it emits a bright light that only I can see. Bees, butterflies, hummingbirds, and hedgehogs can also see this light. That's it. That's all it does. I can cast a violet light that only I, bees, butterflies, hedgehogs, and hummingbirds can see. Like, what the fuck? What a weird fucking ability. I guess that's why they're the Violet Knight. Isn't that fucking cool? You randomly rolled the bug knight. I'm sure there's probably a bug-er knight, but the fact that I rolled a knight that has anything to do with bugs is fucking hilarious to me. Also, the art. Oh, the art is good. Woohoo! The art is insane. Every single myth and every single knight is carefully illustrated. It's just really fucking good, and all of them have poems. I can really quickly go to the entry for the gargoyle for you. Nah, I don't want to go. I'm not going to get into it too deep. We'll talk about it someday. If I can get perms for it, we'll talk about it a bit. Maybe we'll make a character or something. It'll be fun. DJ Goldie, thank you for 10 whole months. And imagine getting a filter mirror and water horse from a pile of guts. I mean, I'm the medieval equivalent of a fucking VTuber, right? I just hold up my mirror and I'm like, mirror, mirror on the wall. What the fuck would I look like if I was, if I wore an anime shawl and it's like, check it out, brother. Check it. I'm like, damn, cool. Spin that shit around to my party members. Hey, this is what you would look like if you were a VTuber. And like, pray tell, what is a VTuber? And I'll be like, never mind. Anyway, you guys see that light? And they'll be like, no. I'll be like, the hummingbird does. And they'll be like, get the fuck out of our party, you psychopath. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think it seems like such a cool setting. Also, the way the rules are written, I'm not going to get into like the finer details, into the grit sands of the rules, but it's so simple, so fucking easy it seems to run. And the author has a lot of respect, I feel like, for the reader, because they have a lot of rules that just say, do what makes sense. You know, like in D&D, like for example, there's like rules for like fighting in groups of more than 12, right? They're like, if more than 12 people attack you, that is the equivalent to a warband. You will treat that as one unit and you cannot damage it. Because one man, no matter how brave, cannot charge into a group of 12 and fight them alone. And I think that makes sense. That's very cool. Is this a TTRPG or a video game? It's a TTRPG. However, you can damage them if you do AoE damage somehow, or if you find a sufficient means that should damage them. Just that line. Just that line. First of all, the entire like section for fighting in groups in wars and stuff like that is literally less than a paragraph. It is like 10 lines of text. All super short, super concise. And the line that says, if you find a means that makes sense, because they trust the DM and they trust the players to just use logic. They trust you not to be a rules lawyer and be like, actually, it says here that only spells that have a 10-foot cone radius are the ones that can do damage to a group. So logically, actually, you can't do. They're like, no, if it makes sense, it does damage. That's it. I'm like, good. Fuck, thank you. Thank you. The birds are following my sword light. What the fuck are you talking about, Ruze? It's kind of open like Mothership, so I've never played Mothership, so I can't say that. It's not rules heavy. So it's not roll heavy. Like, you still roll constantly. There's 3 main stats. You've got your vigor, your clarity, and your spirit, which roughly translates to like your body, your mind, and your heart, right? You have to roll on those, and what's interesting is your age determines how you roll. Hold on, I gotta reset my fucking tracking again. So for example, you get to choose how you start. The older you are, the more likely you have like a position of power or relevance in the court, which is pretty cool and gives you certain benefits. But the younger you are, the longer your adventure is going to go on. But you're encouraged to have extra characters in waiting, right? Like your character might have a squire, and if you die, that squire might seek the seer who knighted you to become the knight of that again. Or the seer might give them a totally random knighthood, because you're encouraged to roll on the table and just get a random knight. You could pick if you really wanted to, but you're encouraged to roll. Flapjack says, pulling up to the round table with my Jesus horse and a bunch of hummingbirds, I am escorted out of the building immediately because I have my beautiful Narcissus mirror that they don't like. Anyway, the point I'm trying to get to is that it is an incredibly simple system, but that does not mean it's rules light and that you are encouraged not to roll often. Like, you do tests entirely with your 3 main stats, sometimes with a 4th stat called guard, which is how resistant to damage you are. Just think of it as a number that you subtract from damage you would otherwise take. But there's like a scar system, a permanent wound system. Death is relatively easy to come by, but in a sort of like mythologically fulfilling way. Fulfilling? So like, yeah, your character might die ignominiously, but it is not hard to get a new character going, and it becomes a part of that character's legend that the characters before them died. Kind of like a Darkest Dungeon run, in a way. And all the monsters are really interesting because not all of them are monsters. Some of them are just problems to solve. And it literally says, when the table agrees that you have fulfilled the myth satisfyingly, that's when it's done. It's not if you kill the monster. It's not here's how you beat the problem. It is once you have satisfied the myth, then you get glory, which is a stat you track over the entire course of your character's career. And then if you get enough glory, your character could seek the city, which is like their ultimate goal. But anyway, if you're young, you just roll your stats raw, take whatever you get. If you get to the age of mature, which is like, you know, your prime, like your like late 20s, probably 30s to early 40s type of shit, you roll your stats again as if you're making a new character, but you only take stats that are higher to represent gaining new skills or new knowledge or becoming more spiritually sound, right? Very fucking cool. However, once you reach old age, you roll again like you're making a new character, but you only take stats that were lowered. So if you roll higher or the same, you're still a badass old dude, but you're starting to feel the effects of age. And having a fucking like stat to track feeling the effects of age and like the decay of the mind and the body, but still being a questing knight who desperately wants to find the city, that's so fucking incredibly cool, dude. That's so fucking cool. Oh, it seems like such a cool setting. I would run a campaign in this in a heartbeat. You become Old Snake? Yes! You become Old Snake! Like, the game is tracked in seasons and ages. So, like, there's 3 seasons. There's the green season, the growing, or the golden season, and the gray season, right? So basically spring, summer, autumn, fall, or winter. And after a season ends, you end an age, which is an indeterminate amount of time. It could be like 20 years. It could be like 2 years. It could be 1 year if you really want to go for a slow burn campaign. But you're encouraged to kind of run time forward enough to enter a different era of your character's life after a few ages, if you want, so that you can kind of like see your character progress and their legend grow and eventually die. If they die of old, if you roll low enough on a stat, like your vigor is your main body stat, if you roll to a point where you get 0 in vigor, your character just dies peacefully. And that's cool. That's interesting. Your character passes away from old age, and then you move on to, like, if your character had enough renown to have like a settlement or a society. Maybe they have like I don't know, a blacksmith's daughter who looked up to them and wanted to like be like them. So they go questing to become a knight, or they get visions in the night. Maybe they didn't even want to be a knight, but they get visions from a seer, and they go find a seer who also knights them. That's fucking sick. And then you play that new character. Babylon Goggle says, I still dream the same, but I'm getting older. Exactly. Sounds similar to Wildermyth. Kind of Blaze, but it's a TTRPG, and it's very, very mythological. It's very abstracted, and I love that. But the combat is still grounded and easy to run, but like logical mechanics that still give you options in battle, and I think that's really cool. Why did my mind go, you can RP Old Man Yowie? Because you can. Grounded mentioned, canon event. Anyway, that's really cool. And that's literally just what I found like yesterday, essentially. Like the day before yesterday, I guess. I'm really still reeling from how exciting that is and how much I want to read the actual book, because the art in it is incredible. Go look up Mythic Bastionland and look up the Violet Knight and just look at the art for just the class I rolled. Just that class. And that's one of 72 knights And there's art for all 72 myths as well. It's fucking cool, dude. Can you perform magic other than passive bug attraction? So I think this is very Arthurian legend in that there are no like wizards per se, kind of like Arthurian legend really only had like what, Merlin and Morgana. But the magic is baked into the setting. What other people would call magic is just a course of logic to these people, right? Like the fact that the Violet Knight can like create a violet light that only, you know, certain animals and themselves can see just makes sense. It's just logical to them. The fact that you have like a mirror that only represents your most idealized self, it's just logical. It just makes sense. It's not about like your characters be like, this is magical. I'm sure they would like use magic to define things they don't understand, but things that make sense to them is probably magic in the same way that like a cell phone is magic, right? I'm in love with this. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. All right, let's move on. So anyway, that's a really cool thing. Very cool setting. I'm super excited about that. But I have also been partaking in other media, and I want to get through that pretty quickly because I got to get to the actual resolve now. It's already been almost an hour, and I said to myself I was only going to take like 2 or 3 hours to do this. But I've been playing a fuck ton of Planet Crafter lately. I picked it up on a whim because it was on sale, and I wanted to play it. And I've almost 100% of the planet already. It is a game where you start on as a marooned prisoner thrown onto a desolate desert planet with nothing except for like raw mineral resources, and you have to turn it into a verdant green planet that humanity could like possibly live on. You want to turn it into a like livable planet, which does suck because you're doing it because you're basically told if you don't do it, you die on this planet because you're a prisoner. Brutal. But it's a lot of fun. It's definitely like it's definitely one of those games that I would call a like single A or double A game in that it is a small team. I think it's only like 6 devs, and it lacks polish in places. And at first, it's gonna feel very mindless for like I would say the first 30 minutes to an hour. It's gonna feel like I'm not doing anything. I'm just running around. I feel like I'm always suffocating. This is like Subnautica, but like it's just the air isn't breathable. But as you get going, first of all, there's always something to be doing. Second of all, it is so incredibly rewarding to see a desert like barren wasteland planet start to turn into this beautiful like paradise as you start to see bugs crop up and fish starting to spawn, and you see your first ever grasses or flowers or ferns or trees starting to grow, and you start to like populate the world with your chosen bugs or your chosen trees because you're allowed to like pick which ones propagate easily. It's very cool, very fun. Hello, Mika. I hope you're doing well. We totally did not miss you at all. Damn, 10 months here and you still don't miss me? It's fucked up and evil. But hey, welcome back. What was the name again? Planet Crafter. Cloudy Horizon. It's called Planet Crafter. It's very cool. I would recommend trying it. It's eaten up a ton of time. I've probably put at least 45 hours into it already, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when, you know, I'm constantly working, I do not get 45 hours of free time very easily. I definitely put all things I should have been doing to put 45 hours into that game. Cronwitch, thank you for being exceptional for 17 months. Can I ask you a favor? And can you say no if you don't want to over the others, or the others don't want to. Just have the voice and you can pick one. Can I get Verdant to call me Pumpkin or Obsidian Sama to call me Rain Cloud? Don't ask why. I know this is dumb. I don't know. You might have to ask during karaoke. But I can do my best guess. Hold on. I can do my best pretend version of them. 1 second.
Here we go. Thank you, Rain Cloud.
And that's the closest I've got. Thanks for 17 months, by the way. I was probably a little off, but okay, close enough. Close enough. That guy's a freak! Lastly, I have been, well, not lastly, actually. I also, here's another thing I did. I restarted a show that always makes me a little sad when I watch it because of lost potential and because I see what it could have been and what I wanted it to be desperately. Have you guys ever heard of, not an older movie, but it's like a 90s movie called Dark Crystal. I hadn't watched it when I was a kid, but I watched it when I became an adult, and I missed out on it and I felt bad, but I watched it and I liked it a lot. And Netflix had produced a show called Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, and it's really cool because it's sort of like this take on Dark Crystal before the full collapse of their society, and like before things became so dire they needed like a chosen prophesied hero to save them, right? First of all, incredible like use of practical effects and like puppetry, like Jim Henson style or whatever. Very, very cool practical effects in a world that is so alien and believable with no need for humans. And I mean this literally. There's not like this scene where it's like, oh, there's a kid who gets isekai'd, or like it's all in the imagination of a storybook and someone's reading a novel to some. No, they set you right in the setting. They're confident enough as world builders and authors to be like, we do not need a human for you to relate to. And they just immediately set you in the mindset of these like weird sort of fae-ish creatures called gelflings, which are like these little like, you know, hobbit-sized, it seems like, sort of like elfin-ish creatures that have like weird cultures that are built around them. And they are currently being ruled over by these weird bird monstrosities, bipedal bird monstrosities that are kind of like Tzeentch cultists from Warhammer, if you know what that is. And they're called Skeksis. I don't know, it's just really compelling. It's a compelling universe with incredible world building and ecology that is completely separated from like the real world and doesn't feel the need to justify itself based on like how it relates to our world. And I think that's super fucking cool. And on top of that, they use practical effects constantly, so it doesn't make you feel like it's like some like jarring CGI. Don't get me wrong, they do CGI for like scenes that are just so action heavy that they couldn't get away with using practical effects, but something about the practical effects makes it very believable. It's very cool. Big fan of Deet. There's a character in it. She's called a Groton, which is like one of like the 7 cultures of these gelflings, and they're like these little gelflings that live underground. They tend to have like anywhere from like gray to green skin and white hair. And she goes on some adventure to go to the surface, and she's just real dumb because she's never been to the surface or around other cultures. So she doesn't know that they have like racial biases or cultural biases against each other. And she doesn't know that most monsters don't get along as well as they do in the underground. Like she's like friend to all the animals underground. She's very druid core. She goes to the surface and finds these like this bug monster, and it's trying to fucking eat her ass. She's like, hi, I'm Deet. And it's like, hey dude, that thing wants to eat you. It's just cool. It's pretty good. But before you get invested, Netflix did cancel it. So sorry. There's only 1 season. It's a very good season. I would still recommend watching it. Just don't hope for a fulfilling closure to that narrative. Maud, thanks for 2 months of being an asshole. Time flies when you're having fun. Hopefully I can catch more streams live this month. Let's go! Father versus nature. God, I miss your lore dumping. What a return. You're welcome! I had to yap because I haven't yapped for like a week and a half and it's been killing me! It's been killing me! So I came back and I'm gonna yap at you about all the things I've been doing. I've got one more thing to talk about what I've been doing in between as far as media consumption, and then I'll tell you a bit about the homework I was doing and shit like that. Yada 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 yada. And then we'll get to the actual resolve. I promise. Let me have a little sip of water real quick. That top note. Yeah. Have I seen the Dark Crystal figurines? I have not. No. Tell me about them. I don't know. But it's a good show. I would recommend watching it if you want to be inspired as a world builder or somebody who wants to make like unique cultures that still feel like they feel grounded in a sense of having a culture and the natural situations that arise from having culture and cultural differences. So there's that human element to a degree, but without having to justify themselves within the scope of Earth or humanity themselves. And that's cool. I would recommend it. Gar Lover, thanks for 5 whole months. I'm not going to sand coffin you this time. I will resist the urge to sand coffin. What's my take on Daggerheart? Haven't experienced it yet. I am much more excited about Mythic Bastionland than I am Daggerheart, but that doesn't mean I'm not interested in Daggerheart. I just have not actually reviewed it. I've seen a few reviews of it, but I don't try to get my opinions from reviews so much as I let them inform, either side of an argument. Okay, thank you. Thank you for a 1.5 years. Holy shit, Danny, thank you for being exceptional. Hey, wait a minute. Why isn't this track in my... Aha! There it is. I was like, where'd my head go? Agreed, Squonky Loon. Again, if nothing else, if like the sort of animatronics thing is not your thing, which I get it, it threw me off at first too. If like fantasy typically isn't your thing, if nothing else, as a creative and a world builder, if you have any interest in that or like just alien environments, I would say watch it just to get a completely bereft of human experience where it does not need a central human to tie things together. Danny, thank you for an entire year. Hey, dude, I just want to thank you for a year, 12 months of fun and whimsy. Hope you're ready to see me around for another year. Oh, well, I'm so sorry, Danny. Actually, a year's the limit. You have to leave now. You gotta go. Not to be sappy, you cringe, but somehow being here just makes me very happy. Oh. Yuck. Ew. Good. I'm glad. Thanks. Thank you for a year, and thank you for the exceptional upgrade. My wallet's gonna thank you because I had to go to the dentist today. Oh my God, I'll talk about that in a second. All right, let's talk about the last piece of media I've been consuming while I was gone. And I haven't had as much time as I want to consume this because I've been focusing on mostly work. And when I'm not working, I'm trying to balance out the media I consume, so I'm getting a good dose of a lot of different things. It's Dune. I've been reading Dune, the Dune novels. I am about 300 pages into the 500 of the first 3 books. And I have been playing Dune Awakening off stream because I can't fucking get perms for it for some reason. And I watched the first Dune movie again. Not the 1984 one, I think is what it was. And not the 2001, but the most recent one with Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet. Am I a Dune head yet? No, I don't think I'll ever be a Dune head. The tragedy is that a setting that is entirely just all taking place on one singular desert planet with like a lack of biodiversity enough to keep me interested, while compelling from a very like socio-political standpoint, and that is interesting, and I do enjoy that part a lot, does not compel me in that like the imagination doesn't have very far to run in Dune. It's like, okay, there's a couple really cool concepts. I love the shields. I like the different like houses and sort of like weird mystical feudalism set in a sci-fi like era thing. That's kind of fun. That's kind of interesting. But the reality is on the planet, the only things I have to think about are the Fremen, the Harkonnens, a little bit about the Atreides, but not really because they're mostly like spoiler for a very old novel and a very popular media franchise. The Atreides mostly aren't relevant later. An OP/OC main character, which is fine. That could be a good narrative. And then the worms. So it's like, okay, there's 4 things to keep track of. Worms, people, the machinations of maybe the Bene Gesserit, if you care about that, which is cool. That's fine. It's intriguing, again, from like a very like political standpoint of like, ooh, the ins and outs of court and intrigue and like this really cool society known as the Fremen, which have like a really complex like sort of culture designed around them. That's pretty fun. But really, like, it doesn't go much further than that. Like, I'm not gonna meet like cool monsters or anything. I'm not gonna see like fucking fantastical elves or dwarves or different cultures besides the Harkonnens and the Fremen, like kind of clashing. It's gonna be about those 2 things, and that's fine. It's just not enough to keep me going beyond the narrative of the narrative scope of the initial story. Like, I'm gonna read those first 3 books, and I am genuinely enjoying them a lot. I am not gonna go much further than that, probably. Frank Herbert wasn't as into the speculative biology as he was into the politics and mysticism. Honestly, it's good that Frank Herbert even gave a shit about the speculative biology before that was even probably a thing anybody really gave a shit about. He was really ahead of his time, it seemed like, in the way he was writing, and I'm really, really enjoying the novels. They're genuinely super fucking good. I'd recommend Dune to basically anybody. But I will say that like the setting is not something that I would be like, wow, I'm so immersed. This is so fantastical and fun to be in. I'm really enjoying Dune Awakening for the conceptual fun I could have if I played Dune Awakening in a group. I get the feeling this would be a really fun game to play with like Armis, for example, but there's not enough time for us to play together off stream, and B, I can't get the perms, so I can't really do like a collab with them, and C, I don't have time for a third survival crafting game to take up my time. As funny as it would be to watch Gerard try to escape a sandworm or see Goldie get absolutely like shredded in melee combat with random people as shields, I just don't see it probably happening. Thank you for the delicious gifted chip. Yum, 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 yum. All right, let me reset again and I'll keep talking about Dune a little bit. Oh my God, I'm completely gone from tracking. That's crazy. I'm sitting on a goofy little stool because it's the only way I could do it. So I guess I'll say this for Dune. It is compelling and interesting, but to me, nothing is more boring than the idea of this entire planet. Its entire biodiversity boils down to worms and sand. I'm like, cool. I'm bored. Like, that's cool or whatever. There's occasional canyon biomes, but there's no like forest, there's no greenery, there's no great ocean to go explore, there's no like delving into ancient and mysterious underground caverns, there's no fantastical monsters to fight. The worms are an unconquerable foe. They are not there for you to beat. They are there to be like this legendary, indestructible dragon-esque figure. And that's cool, but My life to hear your take on God, Emperor of Dune. Even if you hear a recap of that book, that you would poke interesting holes in some ideas. Well, I've already got some holes to poke in regular Dune, honestly. So one of the things I just read the other day, I'm at the part where Paul is kind of just now getting integrated with the Fremen, which is a little ways into the second book. It's about 300 pages in total for the first 3 books. And Paul's just now getting integrated with the Fremen, and one of them's talking about like a Fremen prophecy. And they're like, oh, what we have a Fremen saying that like, you know, the bird is more dangerous than the charging wolf or whatever. And I'm like, that is not the actual words, by the way. But I'm just sitting here and I'm like, guys, if you're gonna make me believe in this culture of people who revere these worms as gods and have been on this planet for enough generations and millennia to develop an entire like relegated culture that has nothing to do with space or the world or the greater like empire at large, you cannot make me believe that they have a saying about wolves when they've never seen a wolf and haven't like experienced what a fucking, like they have no context for what that would even mean in that saying. There are no wolves in the desert. They would be eaten by the worms. There are birds, there is life, there are birds, there are mice, but the only large creature in the desert besides humans are the worms. So they would not develop a cultural saying around wolves because that wouldn't make sense to them. Just like they wouldn't call like Paul young pup because they would have no context for what a pup was unless they call the worm babies pups or something, or call bird babies pups. Oh, that's the second part of the first parts of the first novel. Okay, then I'm in the second part of the first novel, essentially. There you go. Sinchi, thank you for the chip. Do they even know what a wolf is? Nah, man, they know about it from the past. How? Seriously, how? Like, okay, you have knowledge of wolves in your mimetic memory. You have this primal knowledge of a predator that has not been relevant to you for millennia on a planet and a culture that is so obsessed with only A, mysticism, and B, survival. I just don't buy it. But you don't have knowledge of like how you got here, or space, or like why your culture is the way it is, or like a greater, wider unknown. Yeah, I'm not buying it. Thank you for the delicious chip. Brittany, thank you for 5 months. Sorry, I'm kind of late, but I've never read Dune, but I've been thinking about it. Anyway, 4 more months and I get to go outside, right? No, I'm afraid not. You can go outside in the next, let's not put too hard a date on it. We don't want to like limit ourselves here, but let's say 17 months, you can go outside. Counterpoint, we love dinosaurs. Counterpoint, we interpreted dinosaurs as dragons because we found their bones and monstrosities. And there are no bones in Dune. Those bones are eaten, baby, or wiped away by sandstorms. What if you're past 18 months? No, you still can't go outside. I said 17 months from now. Yeah, you know, a wolf, like a worm with legs and fur. That's possible, Vince. That's possible. Neurotic Alien, thank you. Holy shit, thank you for being exceptional for 16 months. Real talk, I've never subscribed to anyone before, so ended up here as a Ruzader following a silly 2D dude's idol journey, and being a part of such an amazing community has been a really pleasant surprise. Happy 16 months, Stinky Kamiyoshi. Actually, if you're going to call me Stinky, then why not just go the extra mile and say Kuso Oshi? Nice try. But thank you for 16 months of being exceptional. Zuna says, that's a lot of media you're going through right now. Just wondering if Gideon the Ninth is on your radar at all. Would love to get your take on it if you ever do. So what is Gideon the Ninth? It's not on my radar necessarily, but I'm curious. I like media. I'm going to finish talking about Dune, but you tell me what Gideon the Ninth is. Thank you for the soup, Zuna. So Dune, the video game, has been very fun because I like the base building aspect. I like the combat pretty well. There's something compelling about the idea that melee combat is still mostly just like a hack and slash in a way, but the addition of shields on some enemies makes it so you have to do these really slow attacks that are like wind-ups because, for those of you who don't know, Dune is a setting where if you are wearing body shields, like these energy shields, fast things can't pass through them. That's how the energy shield functions. It stops significantly fast things from going through. So it stops like bullets, it stops like a fast thrust of a knife. But if you thrust quickly and then stop short of the shield and then slowly push, you can bypass the shield. So combat for exceptionally skilled like knife masters or sword masters or things like that involves like fast maneuverability and strikes that then slow down before they hit the opponent. So in game, this is represented in like, you can do these quick like slashes and jabs and thrusts, and it could stagger your enemy backwards, but it won't hurt them unless you slow down and charge an attack, which creates this sort of like rock, paper, scissors maneuver where you're like trying to get these charged attacks in after staggering your enemy, but you also got to watch out for parries. Citrina, thanks for being a Ruzader. Snarls, how I've missed thee. Hey, thanks for the soup. Anyway, yeah, it's fun. It's pretty cool. I would say the game is interesting and entertaining, and if you have extra, like, I think it's like $45, $50 right now. I think it's on sale for the Summer Game Fest. You're almost out of time, by the way. I think that ends today. Go ahead and pick it up. It's fun. But I think I'd have more fun if it was multiplayer, and I don't have anyone to play with right now. I see a lot of people running around and playing it, and it seems really cool. Also, they've got dragonfly helicopters, and I'm jealous, and I want one. But I haven't gotten very far in the game at all, because I haven't had a lot of time to play. I will probably continue to play it off stream until such a time as I get perms, but I think that's pretty unlikely, because it's been like a month and a half. Cloudy says, thank you for talking about Dune despite its glaring over. I wouldn't say it's glaring. It's a pretty airtight narrative. It's pretty good, and I want to do like a full like yapping Dune stream. I want to like really dig into it and really get in there, but I want to finish the book first, and I want to rewatch the second movie and maybe watch the 1984 movie because I'm just curious about it. Yeah, I want to do that, I think. But thank you, Cloudy, for 4 months as an Axel. I really want to really dig into it and go like in depth. I want to talk about, and this is just a precursor to this stream. I'm just gonna cut it off at this, I think. But I think the stream I would like to focus on is I would really like to compare and contrast Dune and how it is communicated in different mediums, right? So like how it compares as a video game, how it compares as a book, to how it compares as visual media to be consumed in like a theater or as a show. And I think that would be a lot of fun besides just talking about the narrative itself. So I look forward to that. That'll probably be later, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Furtree, thank you for 18 months. How have I ended up here? It's snared by online anime men. A year and a half, Furtree, of being an Axel. Tragic. Gideon the Ninth is necromancer lesbians in space, but not regular necromancy. There's some groups focus on bone, others on flesh. So, the classic 3 schools of necromancy. Bones, so skeletons, zombies, and ghosts. Your classic. Good shit. I'm kind of curious. I don't know how I feel about in space, but necromancer lesbians is compelling enough. I might be curious anyway. I think I know, Cat Thistle, because you typed it. You fool! I saw into your mind. Okay, so what else have I been doing? Real fast, I'm just going to go through a couple other things that I've been doing. I slept a lot, which is great. I'm very tired today, but that's because I had to stay up late working on Resolve stuff because I ran out of time between homework and other things. I did some singing practice. I recorded some stuff. I did a bunch of homework. Yeah, it was a big break, but a lot of it wasn't really a break. It was a lot of late nights doing a lot of homework. But I tried to take as much time as I could for myself, but then I fell behind on, like, you know, keeping my fucking shitty wagon clean. So I went through a whole day of, like, purging that. And then I had to go to the dentist today, and I'm gonna have to go back next week. And I've got, like, a lot of shit I gotta get done, so that sucks. I'm not super looking forward to that. I'm maybe a little scared. But it is what it is. Remember last year when I had to get those wisdom teeth taken out? Turns out I got to get the other wisdom teeth taken out now. And on top of that, I've got like fucking like some cleanings and other things I got to do. I'm just not looking forward to it because they didn't knock me out, and they're not going to knock me out again because I don't have the kind of money to get knocked out. So I'm just going to go in there and let them shoot a fucking needle into my gums, and then I guess they're just going to pull it right out of my head, baby. Batman Optimist, thanks for being a bruiser. Dusk, thank you for 14 months of being a jackass. Hope you had a great rest. If it's not like we missed you or anything. Yeah, no, that falls apart when I say it. It does. Always happy to have you yapping streams when you come back. Thanks for being so cool or whatever, nerd. Thank you for 14 months of being a jackass. That's how they did it for me. Brother, no, please. I have all 4 of mine still, and they hurt me so bad. You got to get them pulled. It's the only way. Okay, so I was supposed to get all of them taken out last year, but I missed my appointment for the other 2 on my left side. And I just kind of never went back because I didn't want to schedule it. And also I was a little scared. So, oopsies. And I was scared of being out of work longer because I got to fucking stream. That's the way it is. But I got a molar and a wisdom tooth on my right side on the top removed and one on the bottom, the wisdom tooth. And on my left side, I need to remove the wisdom tooth at the top and the bottom. So that'll be fun, I guess. Not to mention incredibly expensive. I don't know if you guys know what's going on in Elysia, America right now, but it is not cheap. It turns out dental work is considered mostly cosmetic, no matter how important it is. So that's gonna cost me a lot. Get a job with dental insurance. That's what I'm telling you. If you've got to get dental done, make sure you get a job with dental insurance. I do not have that luxury, so I will be pulling it out of pocket and draining what little I had saved after I got my Rococo suit. So that'll be cool for me. How many did you end up having? I had 6. I got 4 pulled at one time, but the others had to grow in. I got the other pulled out last year. I hope I don't have 6, dude. I cannot do more wisdom teeth pulling. After this one, this better be it. Asked if you can keep your teeth. I did ask some rebuns. They said no last time. They might say yes this time. I don't know. But thank you for the soup, Mast, and rebuns. And Kai, thank you for being a Ruzader. Catherine says, hope your dentist is at least normal. I literally called my childhood dentist a creep to his face when I was like 10, and he never let me forget it. You got to get a new dentist. It's too late. Move on. You're done with that dentist now. So yeah. Well, okay, listen. I was going to say not necessary, Myra. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll say that instead. Instead of the temptation is to be like, don't do that. But genuinely, thank you. Thank you for the magenta soup. Thank you, Clarity. But I'm not going to sit here and beg you to. I'm not dying. I'm not at $0. I'm okay. I've still got enough money to like pay my rent and buy groceries. I'll be okay. I don't want you to panic. Nobody do anything you shouldn't be doing. But thank you, genuinely. That's very kind of you. But anyway, I'm going to go be getting that done. So there might be times in the coming weeks, is what I'm trying to say, that I will not be able to stream. I'm going in next week for some sort of like cleaning procedure or whatever. Hopefully it'll be easy. I'm doing it over the course of 2 days. They're going to like clean one side and the other side because they're like, well, we don't want to numb your mouth on both sides because then you might swallow your tongue. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Cyber, thank you for a month. 1 month. Good luck with your dental work. Also, you have a resistance to the general anesthesia that might have to give you multiple shots. You had to get 8? What are you, immune? What do you mean 8? When they pulled my teeth, I got 2, one in the top and one in the bottom. But 8? Holy shit! That's wild. Thank you for thank you for 1 month though. Holy moly. Leia. Man, I'm pretty bad at. Hold on, I'm gonna be normal. I'm gonna do it. 1 second. Let me recenter myself. I'm gonna be normal. I'm gonna just say thank you now. Thank you for the 2 funds. 2 funds. Also, while I have you here, chances of Turk singing Eighth Realm at the karaoke, I might not be there live. Okay, bye. chances are not 0, but let's say low, unless I could find good karaoke videos for them. Not 0, but let's say low. Also, thank you for the Crimzon. Have you ever read the Dragon Riders of Pern series? No, but my older sister loved those books. My older sister was super big into those books. I heard about it through her. That's the one where everybody has like the superpowers, right? Everybody's born with some sort of like superpower, like putting like speckled dots on the wall, or like pointing at someone and putting a hole in their chest, or like, I don't know, lighting their hands on fire or whatever, right? Is that it? Oh, maybe those are 2 different novels or series that my older sister liked. Okay, I know my sister liked the Dragon Riders of Pern, but it might have been also a different set of novels about the superpowers one or whatever. Brother, it's Dragon Riders. Well, I know, but I thought that I had dragons and superpowers. I don't know, dude. Falcona, oh, holy shit. Thank you, Falcona. Accumulated soup from the past week and a bit. Also, thank you for allowing me to touch grass. Seriously, hope everything goes well by pulling the teeth. Still have all 4 of mine because 3 are close to the nerves and could numb my entire jaw. Wait, what? Ugh. That's fair. Well, hopefully they're in good condition. You don't have to get your wisdom teeth pulled. If you're taking good enough care of them, you're good to go. But unfortunately, as a child, I drank gallons and gallons of sweet tea because my family did. And I drank a lot of sweet tea and a lot of soda. And as it turns out, melting your teeth with sugar and carbonation just isn't good for you. So drink water, everybody. Or at least drink with a straw and try to avoid your teeth, I guess. The dentist told me today, actually, he was like, hey, man, if you drink soda and you drink energy drinks, that's okay. You just need to, you pound them as fast as you can. I was like, that sounds bad for my heart. He's like, it is, but if you have to do it, pound them because you don't want to let it sit in your mouth. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, the problem is people sip their drink slowly over the course of a long time, and that gives it time to just mix with the saliva and acidify it. Faye says, also, thank you, Falcona, for the Crimzon. Thank you. Faye said, I had multiple injections for numbing as well, but there's some studies suggesting that redheads genetically have a higher tolerance and need more. Brutal. I'm so sorry. You should have had cookie colored hair like me. Sacrifice your heart health or your teeth health? Well, no, this came at a fortuitous time because I've actually been cutting out energy drinks almost entirely. Like, I still occasionally drink a Celsius, but they're pretty low in caffeine. I have completely stopped drinking super high caffeine content energy drinks. I usually only drink things that are around 200, 220 milligrams of caffeine now, where I was drinking, 400, 600 milligrams a day, which is bad. And I try not to have energy drinks unless I'm specifically streaming or I really need to get some work done now. Sinchi, thank you for the 5 gifted chips. So this is lucky for me that I already happen to be cutting out caffeine anyway, but still annoying. Do you still drink your gamer subs? Not a ton. I think actually mine probably went bad, so I might have to toss it, but I still like it. I still enjoy it as like a flavoring or whatever. I just need to make sure not to drink it with carbonated things like Sprite. So if I am going to drink it, I'm just going to drink it with water going forward. And I'll probably just like half the dosage that I usually take. Would you ever read the Chronicles of Prydain? Maybe. Prydain? I've never heard of it. Maybe. I mean, I'm going to say you could safely assume if it is a fantasy setting, I would probably at some point read it, yes. When I had my wisdom teeth out, the dentist advised painkillers after, but also provided a prescription for straight up morphine, just in case. I've never gotten a prescription for morphine. I know that they gave me some sort of like slightly stronger painkillers after my last wisdom teeth removal, and I assume they're going to do the same thing this time. I don't know if I'm going to take them up on that. I might just rely on like ibuprofen or whatever. That shit gets expensive, man. Like this, whew, talk about sticker shock. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, right? Like I thought it was going to be like $10,000, which you could expect, by the way, for those of you unaware. Those of you living outside of Alicia, America, you can easily expect $10,000. It wasn't that, thankfully. But it wasn't good. Whoa. Thank you for a year and a half of being a jackaxe. Mind the pH of the water you drink too. Yeah, I'm sticking to filtered water and bottled water right now. So I'm hoping that pH is low enough. Also, thank you for a year and a half being a jackaxe. Sounds about right. Okay, but I do get a early client discount where I'm going. So it is only probably going to cost me around 7. Well, a little more than 7 probably, but woohoo! Yay! Drain those savings, baby. That's the way of the world, I guess. You save up, you spend. But hey, the fact that I had enough set aside that I can maybe slowly pay that over the course of a couple months is pretty cool. That's nice. I missed your renewal. Prove it. Oh, Aurora, thank you for 15 months, actually. You're right, I did miss that. Yeah, don't be uninsured in America. But also don't be, okay, I'm gonna talk about insurance in a second. Let me read Aurora's message real quick. Aurora says, I got addicted to Grounded while you were away since it was on sale. It took me a while to settle on a permanent base location, but I ultimately ended up on the house ooh, good taste, on the house porch. Also, my mom loved the Pern series. I made a dragon figurine for her birthday. That's fucking adorable. Thank you for a year and a quarter of being a Jack X. I almost unmathed that. Thank you for a year and a quarter of being a Jack X. Also, making figurines for your mom is the cutest shit in the universe. You little fucking, you little suck up. Little suck up. I hope you're liking Grounded, though. Everybody should play Grounded. But don't play it too much, because now Grounded 2 is going to come out, and you don't want to burn yourself out before Grounded 2, right? Anyway, don't ever be uninsured in America. However, also don't be insured in America. What do I mean by this? I mean, if you are insured, it's going to take like infinite resources away from you if you try to insure yourself through anything but a job. And you will never see dividends return on that. So insurance isn't like, if I'm just now learning this because I spent my whole life uninsured, health insured, and dental insured because I'm a broke fucking loser. And I've only worked like shitty dead-end jobs. So that's the reality. Bounty hunting doesn't give you insurance, as it turns out. So, I don't get insurance through my work, and I never probably will. I don't think I'll ever work an important enough job to do that, which sucks. So, insuring yourself individually is prohibitively costly, and also doesn't really help you a lot. You might get like, oh, we'll cover the first $2,000 of your visit, and then the next, 10,000 are yours. So, good luck with that. While you're also paying thousands for this insurance. So it doesn't really do anything. At the lowest tier, it's really not that helpful. From my experience, do not take me as a financial advisor. It just feels like a way for them to bleed money out of you and then be like, we're helping, we promise, but not really help you. However, when you do need things done, if you are hurt or physically sick in some way and you don't have insurance, you're gonna fucking feel it. I know, because I'm fucking feeling it. So says, welcome back, Ruze. Had did this too. Didn't realize I was supposed to get numb before getting my teeth trip. Wow, but you did get numbed, right? I know you didn't realize it, but you did get numbed, right? That's bonkers. So get numbed. Don't do that. You don't want your teeth drilled while not numb. Also, thank you for a year and a half. Holy shit. Hey, thanks for being a bruiser. I can't read your name though, sorry. Number one reason I wouldn't be a VTuber, lack of dental and health. I mean, I've never had a job with dental or health, so whatever. That's life. I have lived my long 79, wait, did I die at 79 or 76? I lived my long 76 years or whatever, dental and healthless, and, I have what I call poor people insurance, which is if I pretend it's not a problem, it'll eventually go away. And sometimes that works. Other times it doesn't. Eventually, I imagine it'll just be a permanent problem that doesn't go away, but then it won't be a problem anymore because I can check out. Like, if I get like, if a corruption beast happens to puncture my heart, well, hazard of the job, but I ain't paying that medical bill. Idols, they really are just like us. Whatever happens to me, better make it count. Please, I'm counting on them making it count. I forgot there was another media I consumed while I was away. There's a Netflix series that is kind of reminiscent of like Avatar: The Last Airbender called The Dragon Prince. I started it like 5 or 6 years ago, something like that, and I fell off, and I just recently finished the last 2 or 3 seasons. It's pretty alright. Pretty good. I would recommend it. I will say you're going to struggle getting through the first season because it's animated on either half or quarter frames, and that's a budget constraint. That was before it was really cool due to the Spider-Verse. So it's going to feel a little jarring, a little strange, but it was their best way to get it out there and try to see if it was successful. But now they have like 7 seasons, so if you like it, you're really going to have a lot to consume, which is great. And the narrative and the world building are really cool. The elf cultures are really cool. The actual characters themselves are pretty well written. There's some contrived shit, and there's very much like this attempt to capture the sort of like tongue-in-cheek Avatar like schmarmy humor in places where it really doesn't belong and at moments where it doesn't belong. But the idea is there, and all in all, I would still give it like a nice 7.5, 8 out of 10. I'd say give it a shot. It's worth it. The world building is very cool. Helia says, I'm just quickly saying hi because it's 4:30. I should actually sleep. Have a good rest, Ruze. Have fun, guys. Thank you for 15 months of being a jackass. Thank you. It is pretty kid-friendly. There's definitely some violence. Like, spoiler, somebody loses a limb at some point. Spoiler, somebody gets crushed like a fucking ant. But for the most part, it's pretty kid-friendly. I'd still recommend it. I still think it's good. I think it's good media. It is largely kid-friendly. Yep. Happens to us all. Also, yes, there's hot elves, so that's pretty cool. Also, there's representation for mute people, sign language, LGBTQ plus community, people with missing limbs, obviously. I mean, somebody loses a limb. So, I mean, there's definitely like notes in there that are pretty good. I think that like the representation is, it doesn't feel pandering in a way where it felt like the writers or a studio or like shareholders were like, we need to have our token representation, and it's just going to be there but kind of quickly written off and unimportant. There's diversity, but there's diversity in a way that feels grounded in the reality of that world, and I think that is the ideal everybody wants. I don't think anybody wants pandering diversity because that feels kind of diminutive, and it feels very much like somebody trying to like represent you to get money. But it's also not lacking diversity just because they're afraid of the challenge of correctly representing diverse cultures and diverse, sexualities, I guess, technically is part of it, but diverse cultures and otherly abled people. Veep, thank you for 16 months. Also, there's hot elves, so I mean. Also, the sign language is actually accurate for ASL. Boom, there you go. In the art book, they said that their diversity could not be exclusive to the main cast, so they made sure to add diversity to the background characters. Good. Perfect. Well done. Exactly correct. And yes, the characters you sign have interpreters, and also there's subtitles if you're worried about it. Good luck with the dental quest. I chipped my tooth recently. We'll soon have to confront the fact that I regularly drink pop and irregularly brush my teeth. Haven't been to a dentist in 15 years. Woo-hoo, what? You're in trouble. Be careful. You're treading a dangerous line. Thank you for 8 months of being an asshole, but seriously, I would go in just to see what needs to happen. Like, go in for just a general checkup. It's gonna be pricey if you don't have dental. Genuinely, it will cost you, but it is worth it to know what steps you could take to kind of mitigate, slow, or repair things before it genuinely becomes a big problem. I would say do it now, if you can. Anyway, Dragon Prince is pretty good. I like their cultures. I will say the Moonshadow Elves are like 1-to-1 Night Elves, and it is not even like close to subtle, but I don't mind that. It's funny. Also, the Moonshadow Elves have Irish accents, and I think that's fun. I think that's super funny. You would expect elves to be like super British and well poised, and I'm different than humans. I'm like, no, they've got an Irish accent, and most of them have like this cool like sort of night elf culture. They're fun. They're interesting. Oh, and the Sunfire Elves have French accents, which is really fun. Anyway, yeah, there you go. The frame rate was iffy on the first season. You're gonna struggle on the first season. I'm not kidding. You will struggle to get through it. It can be worth it because the character arcs are very compelling. There's a character who goes from an arc of being like kind of a joke character, not joke, but a comedic relief, silly character who's just there to kind of be quirky and fun, all the way down like multiple paths of like corruption, grief, loss, while still not losing that core of trying to be a sort of silly character with like a darker bent to them. And I've not seen that done very well in media. I would definitely recommend watching it just for arcs that do not follow the I guess, pre-planned notion that you would expect. Like, it kind of defies expectation in some ways. Some of it's very much pandering to expectation. That's to be expected. I use the word expected way too often there, but that's okay. Fuck you. I do what I want. But a lot of it does a good job of kind of subverting it. I'm going to drop some advice I got from my dentist to say, invest in a water flosser. What the fuck's a water flosser? Also, that sounds awesome. Also, thank you, Myra, for 8 months, by the way. So yeah, go watch it if you have free time. You know, if you got free time, watch it. It's fine. It's pretty good. I would say that it is not going to be like your new favorite. It does not defeat Avatar in like cultural relevance or pacing or character arcs, but it is good. A mini power washer for your teeth. Huh. Quite see. I'll look into it. Oh, that sounds awesome as hell, Zuna. The Lady Trent Memoirs. Oh, Northbound. Got surgery coming up for a kidney stone. Gerard, this is your side account? No. You've been helping me get through these past few weeks, even with your deserved rest. Can I get 1 Ganba? You can get 2 Ganbas. Check this one out. Ganba. Gamba. Thank you for the soup and good luck. You got this, gamer. You got this. What the fuck is a tonsilstein? You guys are just saying words now. You're making shit up. All right, I got to get into the actual resolve. It's time. It's been an hour and 40 minutes now. It's too long. All right, it's been an hour and a half of yapping. I haven't watched Centaur World, but I've heard good things about it. I did watch Scavenger's Reign, and I loved that, but it's got a lot of body horror, so if you don't like body horror, don't watch it. It wasn't like... I think Scavenger Reign gets a lot of credit, and I think it deserves a lot of that credit. There are parts that are definitely unbelievable and ecologically just don't make any sense, but that's okay. I think it's fun for like a very sort of like almost surrealist romp through an alien world with like this interesting sort of like biodiversity, and seeing how that biodiversity functions is pretty cool. Okay, I'm done yapping. It's resolve time for real. Here I go. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull up the resolve for real this time. Okay, great. So let's go down the usual list of stuff that we do. So I'm gonna go talk about the highlights first. The highlights for last month, which was what, June, I think, something like that. I don't know. It's been a minute. Let's get into the actual the resolve. Okay, everybody, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. The one, the only, the highlights reel. Ah! Blocking my hand. I guess that makes sense, actually. That would be blocking my hand. But anyway, wait! Ruze, I gotta do something scary as fuck tomorrow. Can you tell me to get my shit together and stop panicking? Yeah, get your shit together, stop panicking. Phone calls aren't that bad. You can do it. So yes, my June highlights. Yeah. So things that I did in June. You got this. Get it together. Tomorrow's not even tomorrow will be a blip in your history, and when you're on the other side of tomorrow, it will feel like it didn't even happen. Cronwich says I pretty much work as a human pack mule, but have all the insurance, and at the highest I can get it since it's only me. Also, I'd like to recommend everyone that Ruze's birthday is coming up September 30th. Save up. Don't do that. What's up, Shikimani? Oh, okay. Okay, yes, my birthday is technically coming up in September, but please don't make me broke for all of August. Don't leave me bereft. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you for the soup. I live off of digital busking. A coin, please, with my little cup out. Ooh, doin. That's so stupid. Okay. Sukiko, thank you for a year and a half. I'm moving to a new place. What's a room decoration essential that you think I should get? Soft lighting to read by when you're sleeping. But aside from that, sword wall. What was I saying? Right, so let's talk about June highlights. Someone leaving you broke? Myra, you cannot carry me on your back alone. Thank you very much. Thank you for the soup. And Kira, thank you for the coin. Fucking flick that one right into my cup. Ding. Thank you. That's how it works, right? You're supposed to drink the coins after you get them. Coin clinks. Love your yapsters. Delicious. Thank you for the soups. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the soups, Kira. Thank you. Thank you, Susu. Thank you, Myra. Sure, you drink them. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? We get the coin cup, then we get a bunch of coins to drink. Huh. That's why you're broke. Yeah, that and the dentist. That and the dentist. Thank you, Deputy. Okay, I'm not sitting. I can't do this. I do not have the willpower or the drive to sit here and digitally busk for real. If you find me entertaining, thanks for the support. If you don't do that. Don't be like, I need to help Ruze or he's gonna die. I'm not dying. I'm okay. Thank you for the soup. Thank you, Deputy. Thank you, Falcona. Anyway, let's talk about June, shall we? So, in June, but you could be dying. I will never be dying. I'll figure it out. I'll sell your Switch too. I will always find money in a couch cushion. Trust me. I've been broke. I've been homeless, and I can always find a way to make money. Don't you worry about it. Not that I'm anywhere close to that right now. Sorry. That was a God damn it. You can't say fucking anything because it feels like you're saying that is the situation right now. That is not the situation right now. I'm very fine, very comfortable. I can comfortably pay my rent and buy groceries. Thank you. But I have been in situations where I've been broke or homeless. I made it work. Don't worry about it. I am never going to be in a situation where I can't handle it. Thank you. Okay, so June highlights. I was on the Grounded grind, baby. I played so much Grounded. I love playing so much Grounded. I want to play more Grounded right now, but I'm fighting the urge because I'm so scared that I'm going to get into Grounded 2 and burn through like the first 2 tiers of gear, and that's going to be all that's in it because it's early access. I'm so scared I'm going to get bored before I get anywhere. Terrified of that. The problem is I think Grounded 2 is definitely going to be this type of thing where I play it for like 3 or 4 streams, maybe 5. And then it's probably gonna have to like sit there for like a year to cook on updates, I assume, which sucks, but it does open up it opens an opportunity, 1, to be filled by Minecraft, but 2, to find another crafting game that I could enjoy, which is a shame because I really want to be a tiny guy in a yard with ants, but I could tolerate a change of pace once in a while. I've been enjoying the Dune survival game on my own time, so. Tiny Grove. I have played a little bit of Tiny Grove. It's not a survival game, but it is an interesting game. That's the one where you build like tiny little castles, right? It's very cute. Rune Factory 4, I would call that a farming simulator before I called that a survival crafting game, but I've always been kind of curious about Rune Factory, so maybe. Oh, I was thinking of Tiny Glade. You're right. I was thinking of Tiny Glade. Building Bloodcap Keep is my favorite moment in Grounded. I'm not done yet. I gotta finish that. I will finish that. Solo Abiotic Factor. Really, it's done. Wow. I could do some solo Abiotic Factor. If I was gonna do a solo survival game, I would probably, I don't know what I would do. Survival games are just so much more fun with people, but there's just not very many people in HOLOSTARS-EN that really dig into survival games like I do. The closest I could expect would be Shinri. And I think he likes survival games, but I definitely think it's not necessarily like, I think he enjoys the ones he already knows he loves, right? So like he fell in love with Grounded or loved Grounded, and he loves Minecraft. I don't know how often he experiments with survival games, where survival games are definitely in my top 3 like game types. Like it's action RPGs, roguelike, survival games. Preferably if they have elements of all 3 of those, chef's kiss. But I don't know how many people would be willing to sit there and really like grind out a survival game with me. Survival games are my like Octavio's JRPGs, and I understand that, and I would never expect anybody to try to keep up with me with that or play as much as I do, because that's a lot. That's a lot of commitment. One day my dream will come true and HoloStars will play Don't Starve together. Maybe. I think that one definitely has a high barrier to entry because it doesn't feel like a traditional survival crafting game. The art style can kind of alienate people in a way. And that's a bit of a shame, but you know, it is what it is. Is the forest too scary for you? No, actually, I've played the forest before. I don't find it scary. I think any game where you have another player with you immediately loses all of its teeth. Like, Phasmophobia is not scary. It was scary the first time I played it. It's not scary. The forest loses its teeth. It turns into a joke no matter what. And I think it's the same often in scary situations in life. Like, if you have somebody to riff off of, it is human instinct, especially for me, to almost become doubly brave compared to what you usually are, to lighten the mood and make jokes out of otherwise scary shit. It's just not scary if you have another person. Yeah, the only Resident Evil I've ever played was 5, and it wasn't scary. Yeah, the trauma responsive humor is able to kick in really easily when there's other people around. Fear shared is fear halved. That's a good quote. I like that. Yeah, I think the problem is that I have this might come as a surprise to you. I might have just a little, like a tad bit, like just a little martyr complex. So when I'm around people and I notice that they are afraid or there's a situation to be afraid of, I tend to, my fight or flight tends to kick in real aggressively toward fighting. Just a small, tiny one. Just a tiny little one. Anyway, what else have I done this month? So, tons of Grounded. I played a fuck ton of Grounded. I did a 3D Rococo confession stream. Hope you guys like that. I did a bunch of shit that I put way too much goofy fucking effort into. As you could tell, I mean, there was the confession stream, and there was the fucking art stream, of course. There was the karaoke, which part 2 will be coming out soon. So that'll be a lot of fun. I did a ton of HoloStars collabs. I don't think I had a single collab outside of HoloStars this month. But I did get to do a lot of HoloStars collabs. That was cool. You know, Minecraft, Grounded, Night Rain, Just Act Natural, Summer Game Fest. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. And finally, I got some new games in. Yeah? I played Chrono Odyssey, Pikmin, Deltarune. I picked up something else. I'm trying to remember. There was like a third game. No, Chrono Odyssey was the third new game. So that was pretty cool. And there's more new games I want to pick up. I just need the time to set aside to get to those, also to get perms. Oh, Darkest Dungeon. I played Darkest Dungeon for the first time on stream, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited to try Darkest Dungeon 2 soon coming up. I hear that it's gotten really, really good. I wasn't a huge fan of it when it first came out. Not that it was bad, it was just different enough that I didn't love it. I think my main gripe with it wasn't anything to do with the actual moment-to-moment gameplay. It was being locked in with a specific set of heroes that I couldn't swap out easily, because I really like the idea of like a big band of heroes that are like taking turns going into this dark dungeon. But I think they've kind of alleviated that a little bit with certain game styles, so I'm curious to really dive back into that. And it would have the added benefit of, I have played very, very, very little Darkest Dungeon 2, but I put like 30 or 40 hours into Darkest Dungeon 1, so I already have a good grasp on the early parts of Darkest Dungeon 1, where 2 could definitely throw me for a loop. And I haven't seen very many bosses in 2, so that could be fun. That could be a lot of fun. Dude, Pikmin was so... I want to get back to Pikmin so bad. I just need to find time. I might just have to start like grinding out like 2 streams a day or something. I don't fucking know. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll like put slightly less effort into some streams for a little bit so I can grind out more streams. I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out. Have I played Baldur's Gate 3 yet? So I have played Baldur's Gate 3 all the way up to Act 3. That is as far as I got. I played a thief rogue who eventually became a Oath of Ancients paladin multi-class with a singing sword that scaled on dexterity, could do backstab damage. It was really cool. I was a pseudo stealth tank support thing. It was really fun. I liked it a lot, but I did not complete it. I got overwhelmed in Act 3. There was just too much to do, too many people to talk to, and it was right before debut, so I was in the womb and trying to figure things out, and I didn't have time to play games, and I haven't gone back. So, there you go. Yeah. I don't know that I will probably ever go back and beat Baldur's Gate 3. I have a bad habit, especially with long-form RPGs, of getting close to like the final hour and then giving it up. I don't know why I do that. I feel like the problem is I focus too hard on side quests and really like drinking the world in, and I just lose any drive or interest in the main quest. Sorry I didn't finish that game. I got bored. Exactly. Have I played Tavern Talk? Nope. I stopped when I could see how it'll play out. Oh. Fair. Fair. Oh, new Minecraft server. That was pretty cool. You guys like that? I really love that stream. That's the most I've laughed in a while. It was a good time. And also just hanging out with the boys again after such a long sort of hiatus of not all of us like hanging out together. That was a ton of fucking fun. And I've never beaten Minecraft before, so that was really cool. That was a really cool experience to kind of share with everybody, with you guys and with them. That's pretty exciting that I could finally say I've beaten that game, and I could say I did it here. So that was nice. And I'm excited to kind of like dig into a brand new server. I'm a little sad. I'm gonna miss my catacombs, and I think I can go back and visit them technically and maybe like finish up some of the stuff there. But I'm excited to start a new project too, so we'll see. I don't know what I want to do just yet. I'm considering building a sort of like fort or something maybe in the Nether. I think it'd be cool to like build in the Crimson Forest. That could be interesting. But I don't know yet, so don't take that as a permanent thing. Do you think you'll do a part 2 to the confession stream? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. That's hard to say. It's a possibility. Let's say that. It's possible, but at the moment I'm doing a lot of streams that take a lot of time to prep, and I need to slow down on those just a little bit so I can do if I can get back to doing like some of my goals. Like I missed out on doing hand cam last month, which I know is often on my bingo sheet, so whoopsies. But I've also done a lot of things I've been meaning to do, things I wanted to get to, things that I'm super excited to finally be doing, like starting singing practice and stuff like that. Picking up a couple new games, almost beating a game. I was so close to beating a game last month. If I'd just beaten Grounded, I could have checked that off on the bingo sheet. I wasn't quite there, but I've been very bad about beating games. I also have got to go back and beat Dragon's Dogma 2. I really want to see it, damn it. I really want to see it! Ah! But whatever. Anyway, yeah. Too many confessions, too scared to see them. I've read through every confession that was sent, and some of them were certainly, whoo, some of you guys are, you be confessing shit people couldn't torture out of me. But hey, whatever, that's fine. Yeah, when I said Shikamane helped me sort those, what I meant was Shikamane helped me figure out which ones were appropriate for stream. Shikamane did not shield me from any of them. I read every one of those confessions. Oh God, indeed. Is Vermilion singles? I don't know. Like that fucking. I don't know. Maybe. Isn't he like some feral fucking swamp rat dadcore loser or whatever? I haven't talked to the guy. Sure, maybe shrug. Does he even know what a goth girl is? I don't know. She really said, you handle it, and I'll say yes or no. Yep. Yep. Not that, I mean, I wanted to read them anyway. It's not like she was like, no, I won't do that. I was just like, that's fine, I'll read them, I've heard worse. Wow, you guys confessed to some shit. Also, other highlight, RUZOLVE karaoke. Yippee! Annual RUZOLVE karaoke, you're welcome. Those are always really weird. And also, I was working on that up until the last second, and that kind of fucked me because I didn't have any sort of playlist going into that. So I'm pretty sure everybody was just winging that. I think all the little brain ghosts were just winging shit and doing their best. So, haha. And it'll probably be the same way on the next one because I simply do not have time to work on that. I have far too much homework I have been far too behind on. Oh, she is back. You better believe it. Thank you for a full year, Lazy Ghost Cat. Woohoo! Hope your voice is okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's pretty all right. I've been doing a little bit of singing practice off stream. Not a ton, but a little bit. I want to do more singing practice, actual streams, and memberships. I would also like to do some Minchi content around TTRPGs that aren't specifically Hollow Marches. I still want to do Hollow Marches content in memberships as well, but I would like to do Zatsudans more, and I want... What the hell is that tracking? What the fuck? Hey, those fingers are touching. Excuse you? What the... Wow. That's crazy. I want to do more Zatsudan content in Minchis, and I want to do more TTRPG review where I talk about TTRPGs and deep dive on them a little bit that aren't specifically Dungeons and Dragons, but I got to get perms for that. Tell Obsidian I appreciated Ghost Faith by Ghost, by the way. No, I will not be talking to him. That dude's a fucking freak. Okay, so let's go ahead and get off of highlights, and we'll go over to the next thing. A lot was done last month, is all I'm saying. Which, again, it's like this every resolve. I think, honestly, the resolves are for me at this point. Because, I feel like every time I do a resolve, I'm like, I didn't do nothing this month. I didn't do nothing. I was so fucking lazy. I'm such a fucking loser. And then I do this shit, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I did shit. I did stuff. Come on. And I'm like, damn, I kind of fucking crushed it. Every time I surprise myself, it's like a little schmecker, a little treat. I'm like, nim, 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 delicious. Delicious. A reminder of my accomplishments. Yeah, I mean, I got to pat myself on the back at the end of the day. Who's going to do it for me? I got to do it. I got to be like, good job, Ruze. You fucking crushing it, brother. Anyway, so, and little truth, dust and fucking pixie shit. Whatever the fuck the quote is that says the thing. Membership content. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about membership content that I did in June. At tier 2, I did an archived singing practice, which is pretty cool. I want to do more of those if I can. Like I said, it's kind of what I was getting at. I would like to do more of those. Mashiat Will. Thank you for 8 months. I did do that shit. You're right. I'm pretty cool or whatever. I don't want to brag. I did a Proto-Men listen along / watch along, and I dropped the False Noble transcript. So if you have not read that yet and you want to read the False Noble transcript, the text is there in the tier 2 membership area. You can access that easy peasy. I'm going to be dropping new membership links either after the stream or early tomorrow for more stuff. Tier 3 Axholes. I dropped the False Noble actual VP. So if you wanted to listen to that, fully edited, fully like folied and all that shit, which I had to listen to Azure's voice like 20 times in my ears, boom, bam, boom, you're good to go. That should be there available for you. I did a bunch of cat picks, and I got to use my Wheel of Axholes pretty aggressively in Darkest Dungeon, which is one of my problems with Darkest Dungeon 2, dude. Oh, you did get Vermilion. I'm sorry, I'm dropping False Noble today. But anyway, don't worry about that. You got Vermilion. You're right. You're gonna get False Noble. One of my problems with Darkest Dungeon 2 is that I can't use the Wheel of Axholes as much because I'm not cycling heroes as often. Damn. Yes, I'll be dropping False Noble either today or early tomorrow, so keep an eye out for it. I will make a post on Twitter when I do. Don't worry about it. Danny, I don't like that color of soup. I've decided. Give me a cooler one. Give me a better one. Azure's a lame color. How do you like that? That dude's a fucking tool. That dude's a fucking joke. Take Scratch Noble out of the name. He's just false. I'm just gonna call him the false VP. false VP. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for the soup. What else was I gonna say? Right, so tier 3, I did cat pictures, false noble VP was gonna be coming out, and the Wheel of Axholes. And at tier 4, Jack X, you did get the Naive Hero VP. Now that was unfortunately supposed to be the month before, but I fell behind. So I did do that one, which hopefully you guys like that. It was about half an hour, a little bit more than half an hour. So I'm out here producing entire fucking audiobooks apparently, or full like episodic content, I guess. I can't believe that shit ended up being as long as it was, but it is what it is. So enjoy that when you get a chance. I don't know if you guys have listened to it, but if you haven't, please do. And if you don't, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't like you. And you hate turquoise. And I'm going to tell them you said that. I'm going to write it on a note. I'm going to leave it in front of me. And I'm going to say turquoise is the worst. The Ruze said so. It's going to be great. It's going to be hilarious. Tier 5. Obviously, I've updated my post-stream thank yous. And I keep up on that. I just updated that yesterday. And I just finished writing my thank you letters for all the Exceptionals and Glucose Guardians, so look forward to those popping up for anybody who is on their, holy shit, at a 3-month milestone. So for those who are unaware, in case you didn't hear the talk last time, that has been moved over to a 3-month milestone, so every 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 15, you get the idea. 18, continuing on and on and on. That is when thank yous will be dropping because I simply could not keep up with every month. I ran out of creative ideas because I'm a fucking loser. But it's okay. This month's very good. You get very beautiful pictures in a very special place that maybe you remember with it. Wink, 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 wink. Yeah, that's been pretty exciting. I hope you guys like those. I know that a couple people got theirs last month, and that was fun to make, but this time I'm dropping a ton of them. A ton of you are on a milestone. So hopefully you guys enjoy those pictures and those messages and thank you notes. Fur Tree! Necronomicon! Necronomicon again! A banana? Why are we throwing flowers for this dork? You serious you're gonna throw flowers for Azure right now? Oh man, Turquoise can't catch a break. Don't you dare do that to my little hero guy. What the fuck, Wick? Whoa, you got a Wick jar? I drink my matcha latte fucking... Labubu chocolates out of that. Chloe, I guess thanks for that. You know what? No thank you. No thank you. I don't want your yucky Azure soups. Yuck, 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 yuck. Yuck. I gotta reset again. Do this to me. So yeah, I thought, honestly, I was like, oh no, I didn't do anything for memberships this month, but like always, I was deceiving myself like an asshole. I don't know why I keep doing that. Maybe I hate me. Maybe I'm my own worst hater. Look out for yourself. Maybe I'm my own enemy. Oopsies. Oopsies. Nice posture check. Thank you. I am my own worst hater. No one can hate me as hard as I hate me. Take that. I look in my mirror that shows my most ideal self, and then I beat the fuck out of myself. So, yeah, that's what I did for memberships last month, which was pretty cool. I'm gonna say it wasn't like the world's most packed month, but I think I'm seeing an upward trend, I hope, in my ability to keep up with doing like Minchi streams, which is where I've always struggled. I've been pretty good about putting out content, and that's great, but I want to make sure that everybody's getting their value out of supporting me and not just like, you know, the most polished gems of content that only like trickles down slowly, which is fine. I mean, you guys are still getting it slowly, which is why you're going to get the false noble, but I want to make sure everybody's having a good time. Because if you're not, you're a fucking idiot. No, if you're not, I'm not doing my job, is what I'm saying. And also, I like goofing around in memberships because I feel like I could be slightly, I could be just a little bit more unhinged, just a little bit. Why are you so mean today? Because I can be. Servaday, thank you for the Crimzupa, sending roots to the Tooth Torment Nexus funds. Keep on stinking the joint up. My Holotoshi? What's a Holotoshi? What did you just call me? What does that mean? I don't care. I don't want to know. Thanks for the Crimzupa. I'm going to drink it and pretend. I'm going to nod at you like you complimented me. I'm going to go, it's good soup. Thank you. Caddy, yucky. Don't give Azure any roses. But Chloe, thanks for the turquoise. Super. Halitosis? Fuck is halitosis? I got no What's halitosis? First of all, who do you think you are? Second of all, halitosis is stinky breath? How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? I don't have stinky breath. Dentist said my breath was nice. Thank you. But I do have some tooth work to get done. And that does mean that unfortunately I had to brush my teeth a lot because there's a little bit of decay on one of my molars, on my little wisdom tooth. So fuck you. You're probably right sometimes, but fuck you. You want another color? Here you go. Funds for your teeth and lotion for your bites. Thanks. Sorry if I'm milking this, but would I have to wait another year for this? Considering give me a birthday Oh, you motherfucker. All right, listen. First of all, thank you for the soup. Second of all, okay. Happy birthday, you insufferable prick. Ta-da! Was that happy enough? Was that a good birthday message? We all feel like we got our fucking just out of that. You guys know those TikTok movies where people are like, you know what I'm talking about? We got to bring that back. Let's bring back TikTok from 2022. I want that back. Dr. Wowie says, yo, Ruze, are you a dentist finger licker? No, thank you. No, thank you very much. I'm good on licking the fingers off dentists. I know they've got like a delicious like crunchy center, but I just don't do that. The dramatic NPC movements, let's bring that back. Like type shit, you know what I'm saying? I want a simpler time for TikTok, a goofier time. Bring that back. I miss the emote so much. You've got a loading one, you'll be all right. I might bring it back, we'll see. I gotta get more emote slots. I'm gonna need 5 million members. I don't know how emotes work. I think it's memberships, right? Is it memberships that unlock emotes? Don't worry about it. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll do like a big emote stream at some point or some shit. That could be funny. It is? Damn, that sucks. Never mind. Listen, maybe we'll do it like, you know what? No, don't bother. We've got enough emotes. You're fine. I'll cycle them out. I'll cycle them out so we have some of the old ones back, and I'll take out some of the new ones, and we'll just kind of move them around every once in a while. It'll be fine. You'll be all right. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about merch, but not exactly much. Not exactly merch. I've got a little something else to talk about. Hold on. Wait. Here we are. Cool. So let's talk about merch. And community projects. So I don't have any merch shill to you. Sorry. Sorry, just kidding. No merch for you today. I do have community projects to shill, but before I talk about the community projects, I did want to say the Ruzader plushies have been arriving, so that's really fucking cool. I've been excited seeing all of those on social media. So thanks for posting those when you get them. So let's talk about community projects a little bit, and then I'll talk a little bit more about things that you can do in lieu of merch. One. Holo Marches Wiki. Can you guys fucking believe that? I haven't gone through it yet. I might do a stream where I go through it or something. That could be really cool. So there's an entire wiki now for Holo Marches, like the main plot line, important characters, player characters, NPCs. Tons of cool shit. Really well made, really fucking awesome. So go check that out if you haven't had a chance yet. You could find it at, let me double check the exact name. Hopefully I can just paste it as well. It's literally Holo Marches Wiki. So there you go. On Twitter, you can find that. Let me just drop the link real quick. Actually, you know what? I can drop a couple links here. I'm gonna talk about 2 of these things at a time is what I'll do, and then I'll drop 2 links because I think that's all that'll fit. So hopefully these both work. Perfect. So the HoloMarches Wiki, you can find that on Twitter under HoloMarches Wiki, .twitter, whatever the fuck, yada yada yada. But click the link and you'll find it. It's a entire website dedicated to talking about HoloMarches. It's a huge, really fucking awesome passion project from you guys, of course. And if you ever had an interest in HoloMarches, but you haven't been able to keep up on maybe each episode, or maybe you missed like little tidbits of lore, or you glazed over because you were like reading your fucking like Old Man Yowie while you were supposed to be listening to HoloMarches, so you missed parts, you can go there for a refresher, and that's really fucking cool. Aside from that, it gives you a little bit of visualization to go with it as well. It's really awesome. It's a super fucking cool project. But very cool. Please go support them. Please go follow the actual Twitter and go check out the wiki itself. You want hopefully, if you guys, not that I'm telling you have to, but if you have any interest in HoloMarches, showing them that you have an interest in the wiki and keeping it updated is the best way that you can support, I feel like. So, being over there and, actually participating, and maybe like if they're missing anything or if they need, feedback, give it to them. But mostly follow them on Twitter and check it out. Okay. So, RUZOLVE Pride Collection. This was a really big project. There is the link is also up there. It's underneath the HoloMarches Wiki link. This was a huge project where a bunch of Ruzeters got together, and basically you guys just did Pride art for different members of the RUZOLVE and for me. And I can't believe we're calling it the fucking RUZOLVE, unironically. That's fine. So anyway, you did a bunch of different Pride art for members of the RUZOLVE and me, and then it was all collected in a digital book, which is fucking incredible, super cool. And you can find all of that together in like a turnable book website at the link above. Absolutely crushed it. You can also find the actual post for that, I believe, through the X/Twitter link that I left above. I'm so proud of the HoloMarches Wiki team and happy you like it. It goes fucking hard. Thank you, Sukuo, and thank you for the suit. So this one was organized by Chili, I believe. You can get that. You can go find the entire website with the like physical, like not physical, the digital art on the website. And on top of that, I'm gonna get it printed because fucking talk about an incredible project. It's so fucking cool. So I'm gonna get that printed out in an actual physical book, and then I can put that on my shelf, which will be awesome. It just gives me another piece of physical merchandise, well, not merchandise, media that I can kind of keep around to judge you guys by and know who my enemies are. Because I hate you, and I think it's lame. So, yeah. But, it's pretty cool or whatever, I guess. But anyway, I'm going to get that printed out, so that'll be awesome. Not the wiki. I'm going to be printing out the RUZOLVE Pride Collection, the book of the RUZOLVE Pride Collection. Let me fix my fucking tracking again. Good enough. It's not quite accurate, but that's all right. Dust says, thank you so much for the shout out for the wiki project. The entire team worked super hard, and we'll do our best to keep adding to it with the help of the community. Thank you. Thank you for the project at all. That's so fucking crazy. I don't think I would ever think I would make something that would have its own dedicated wiki. That's crazy. Sorry, I'm still reeling from that. And also oh man, okay. Anyway. I'm gonna focus on Pride for a minute, on the Pride collection. Please go check out the website. Like I said, you can turn it like a digital book on the website. There's a ton of incredible artists who contributed to that. And if you have any interest in Pride at all, or you're, I don't know, you just want to see good fucking art, go look at it. Go check it out. Maybe, go say, hey, thanks artists on Twitter. That'd be really cool. People like hearing that their art's good. And while I might hate you guys profusely, I'm not so stupid and blinded by my hate to pretend you're not incredible artists. So I'll let that one fly. I'll let that one go. I'm gonna tell you you're good at what you do right before I tell you you're a piece of shit. You're a good artist. Now get out of my face. Yeah, you're welcome. Also go say thanks to Chili. It's cool. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. I know. I'm honestly too nice sometimes. I get it. Yeah. I don't immediately destroy you and tell you you're the worst creature on the planet. I tolerate your presence. I only insult you most of the time. I'm almost saint-like in my patience and in my ability to truly encapsulate all that is kind and good in this world. So you're welcome for that. True. Magnanimous. That's a good one. And humble. Yes, humble. Yeah, that's true. Character development. You better believe it, brother. Such a savior. Well, savior's a hard. Well, I guess if you're saying, who am I to say no? If you're implying that I'm a savior, I wouldn't. Would I say that? No, of course not. But I mean, if you guys are gonna do it, oh well. I guess who am I to say no? Savior to the people. Okay, I'm gonna drop those links because I've got 2 more projects I want to talk about. You guys went fucking crazy with projects in the meantime. Bonkers. 2 more projects to talk about. So, I don't know if I'm allowed to pin this one. There's pinup stars. It's not 18 plus technically. It's just risque, I think. I don't know if I don't think it has anything like super spicy going on, but I do know that I look great. And I saw the art for me and chef's kiss. So I am gonna pin it because it deserves attention anyway, and it's for charity. So that's really fucking cool. Just saying. If you wanted to pre-order that, they're currently, I think, don't quote me, I think pre-orders are still up, and it is for a charity, I believe, if I remember correctly. So please, if you want to see good art and you want to see me looking fucking exceptional and awesome, go check it out. Go check out the link for Pinup Stars. It's a huge project. Again, a lot of artists got together, and it's not just me, it's HOLOSTARS-EN as a whole, and it's for a good cause. So if you like tastefully risque art, please go take a look at that. Pre-order until July 31st. Thank you, Helia. Thanks for the Pinup Stars shout out. Help. It's my baby, and I'm so proud of all the artists and the generosity of the whole community. Pre-orders until July 31st. Boom. There you go. And thank you for the soup, Helia. But anyway, please go and support that because, again, really cool that they got together and did that at all out of like their free time. Nobody commissioned that. Nobody paid them to do that. They just did that because they wanted to. And then to put it all together into like a consolidated package for you guys and to make it pre-orderable and like turn that to a good cause. I mean, fucking what more could you genuinely ask for? You get your gooner shit and you also get to be a good person while doing it. Gooning for good. That's the That's the quote. That's the campaign quote. Gooning for good. God damn it. Thank you, ladies and shit. I'm here to goon for good, baby. So that's the slogan for Pinup Stars. Somebody's got to kill me. Somebody's got to stop me. Man, I should have ordered a pizza before I did this. Everything's gonna be closed by the time I'm done. Thank you. You get it, Richard. You get it. Thank you for a year and a half. Gooning for the greater good. You guys can take that quote and put it wherever you want. I'm taking that's mine. That's my quote, but you can have it, Pinup Stars. That's for you. That's a treat for you. Crimzon Rulez Pride Month 2025. Thank you for a year and a half, Neru. Okay, click the link, go check it out. There's a ton of good art on there. I will say that Flayon, I think he's got his whole ass out, so be careful. But I mean, he's got a really good pose. It's good art. I'm not gonna lie to you. In my pose, I don't want to be biased, but I do want to be biased because I'm better than everybody else. I look fucking good, dude. I look fucking good. I look very much like you interrupted me reading, and I'm looking dramatically at you with like sort of like a expression while I'm laying back on a couch. But there's also sort of a hint of like, get the fuck away from me. Say what you need to say and go, so I can go back to reading. I ain't looking good for you. I'm looking good for me, so I can read while being a dramatic Victorian bitch. But anyway, yeah. which is about as romantic as I'll probably ever be. You might catch me being fucking like ethereal and beautiful in the distance or like while I'm distracted by something, but I promise you, if I take note of you, it's gonna be like you caught a fucking nymph in the woods. I'm gonna be like, get the fuck away from me. Order your pizza now, we'll wait. I will not order my pizza now. Clarity at 3 a.m. Nice try, I will not be doing that. Instead, I will talk about Pandora's Whisper. It is the demo for the new game from Tactical Elysium. Thank you for the soup, by the way, Clarity. It is the demo for the new game from Tactical Elysium, the same guys who brought you the sort of top-down strategy, sort of almost Fire Emblem-esque, like grid-based battle game that featured Tempest and Vanguard. So it's probably really good. I haven't had a chance to play it just yet. I've heard a lot of people saying that they like to throw me into the fucking thick of it and watch me go bonkers, which sounds great to me. That's great to me. Armus Tactical RPG. That's a much better way to say it. Thank you. Protostar Twilight was the first game. That's right. I wanted to say it was Tactical Elysium because that's their Twitter name, but that's actually like the sort of studio conglomerate name. Protostar Twilight was the original name. And this is Pandora's Whisper. And also the art fucks, the trailer fucks. If you have not seen the trailer, please go check it out. But you can actually pick up the demo through their post on Twitter. If you click on the link above, you can go to that and you can pick up their demo through, I believe, an itch.io, I want to say. I have not had a chance to play it just yet. I might wait for the final game to come out. I just don't know yet. It depends on how long the final game will be in the making. So maybe we'll see. I might get impatient, honestly. Very excited for that project. Super excited to be in a video game at all. That's so many crazy like achievements, I guess, and it's entirely like community done, which fuck you guys for stealing my thunder. How dare you? But on the other hand, I guess, you know, a win's a fucking win, and I gotta take what I can get. So thank you for making me my first ever wiki for something I made, which is fucking crazy. But also, thank you for putting me in a fucking video game. Isn't that nuts? Did I earn it? Probably not. Is it off the back of your guys' work and incredible generosity? Yeah. And I despise you for that. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to call attention to these fucking awesome projects you guys have been working on. Oh, the demo's unrelated to the main game. It's its own story. Ooh. Interesting. I might just have to play that then. Cool. Yeah. Grace the Goat, right? I wrote the story of the combos for the demo, and it's standalone. It's standalone Ruze, no spoil. Ah, okay, then I definitely have to play that because it's essentially a prequel at that point, or at least a standalone side story. Either way, I need to check it out. Thank you. Super excited to see how bad you butchered my character. Now I better be 100% written correctly, because I swear to God, if I find that I'm not, are you listening? No. I'm excited to see how it's written and how it goes. Sweats nervously. Yeah. The writing is goated.
Yes.
Ruin the word interesting for me. I ruined the word interesting for anybody who's ever heard that story from me. I'm not going to tell it again, but interesting. I take it you are anime crazed. God, I almost forgot about how absurd that interaction was. Why do I meet so many weird people? Why do I meet so many interesting people? Yusupon says, VOD Gangers Eder here. It was my birthday last week, and I wanted to give you a super since I finally came. Well, thank you for giving me a gift postemptively from the day you were supposed to get gifts, which is a little bit of a backwards mechanism, but I appreciate the magenta soup all the same. Thank you for the soup, Yusupon. It's crazy to think I've been in this amazing community since the first Crimzmas. Damn! I forgot that was so long ago. Also, crazy. Love you, Ruzeters. And Ruze too, I guess. Actually, you wouldn't watch my VODs if you didn't like me, so I'm gonna say that I'm the main feature here. The Ruzeters are just a little extra sprinkle on top. And might I say, quite a fragrant sprinkle. Oof. Take a bath, you nasties. Yusupon, thank you for the delicious soup. Okay, so, anyway, a lot of cool community projects. Please go support them. Yeah. excited. Ew, Zaters aren't allowed to like me? Damn straight. The Tactical Elysium link's not working! Let me try. Ah, what the hell? Page not found. Girl, what? I'll grab a new one, hold on. Okay. Let me delete that link and I will drop you a new Tactical Elysium link. Boom. Boom. Hopefully you guys got a hold of the pinup if you wanted it. Bam. Try that one. Hell yeah, brother. Nice. Okay. Thank you. I guess I gotta take more breaks because you guys go absolutely wild on projects while I'm gone. So actually guys, I'm here to announce that I'm taking the next 4 years off. I'll see you then. Okay, so let's see. So. Man, I haven't yapped in a minute. Let's talk a little bit about plans for next month. Or do I want to do my bingo goal? No, because bingo has a lot of plans on it. So I want to talk about my plans for next month first. Boom. So my plans for July. Did you see us all crying on Twitter, bro? I chose not to preserve your dignity and my mental. Yeah, I saw you crying, you bunch of fucking sycophants, you little babies, you little crybabies. So, Hollow March Session 5. Want to get that done this month. I definitely want to do that. Maybe 6 if I can squeeze it in, we'll see, but I definitely want to get to Hollow March's Session 5. Easy peasy. I want to do part 2 of the unarchived Ruzebo karaoke. I also would like to rebroadcast those at some point, maybe back to back, we'll see. I'm going to be doing book review, finally. It's making a comeback. For those of you, for all 2 of you who gave a shit about book review, that's coming back. I'm going to be reviewing the book, the game, and the movie for Dune. Not the old Dune game, the new survival game, because I think it's an interesting take on Dune, and it puts the planet as the highlight, which is what the book was also trying to do as a major character. So, I'll be reviewing the book, the game, and the movie together. I don't know how much of the game I will beat before then, because I'm going to focus on finishing the book and watching the second film again. I'm going to be doing some upcoming HOLOSTARS calendar events, which is Be Nice to Bugs Day, which is coming up soon, very soon, and Mango Destruction Day, of course, is coming up on the 25th. For those of you unaware, the HOLOSTARS calendar project has been in the works, or sorry, in progress now since the start of this year. So for the last 6 months, plus this month, I guess, so 7 months, you've been getting free, cool calendars and updates with all the little like extra holidays that happen in Elysium. So if you haven't had an opportunity, please show your support by interacting on Twitter with those posts. It is very important to the metrics for the government, who are definitely keeping an eye on that and seeing how well it does, if it gets any traction. So if you see it and you think, huh, that's neat, and scroll past, that's nice, but if we want more calendars, you know, in the future, I would say boost it. Try to, you know, interact with it, maybe retweet it if you can. I'm going to be doing my best to, you know, focus on it a little bit more as well. Obviously, some of these days pertain to me, which is why they have the little rage mark next to them. So I'll be doing little special events for those days. And some of the boys do events for their days. Some of them celebrate on their own. You guys can celebrate at home for special days. I'm just saying, there's a lot of special little days. But please go check that out. There is a link to it. Actually, I have a link to it. Let me see if I have the link for this month. Yeah, I do. You can check that out. All right, I'm dropping the Tactical Elysium link, just so you know now. I'm gonna get rid of that one for now. So I hope you got a hold of that. This is the current Twitter post where you can interact with it and hopefully promote it a little bit. And you can also use their link to go to their tiny URL to pick that up. So please do. It means a lot, and the government wants to know if it's worth bothering investing in that, because that's not cheap. So yeah, get excited about that, hopefully. Mango Destruction Day is the day after your birthday? Well, I hope you don't like mangoes. Yeah, there's also a giveaway there. Work hard. Work hard. Thank you. Aside from that, I would like to do more singing practice streams this month. I want to do more membership streams where I practice just kind of flipping through different like runs and songs and parts of songs that I find compelling or interesting or that I want to challenge myself with. And I want to try my best to get some of those done. So that's something I really want to focus on this month. I would like to do more 3D streams if I can, and that inherently involves me getting another modem, or at least another router, I mean. And I might have my buddy see if he can drive all the way down here, which is going to be a bit of a trip, but that's okay. Maybe he can help me set those up. We'll see. I hope so. I want to do a cat mic work stream. We already talked about this, where I put the mics on Pollux and Arcturus, and I keep them in here with me, or just roaming around and do whatever they want to do. And I'll just type. It'll probably just be a stream where I focus on just typing, and it probably won't have anything on screen as far as what I'm working on, because it'll probably be some sort of homework. But it'll help me focus on my homework while you get to hang out with the boys and listen to them like interact and goof around. And maybe I'll have like a little cat cam on a cozy spot for them or something. I don't know yet what that looks like. I'll figure it out. Just know that that's something I would like to do. It'll probably be a tier 3 stream, just so you know. So when that comes around, sorry. That's the way it's going, because that's where all of my cat content goes for the most part. Damn, look at this guy, back from the bog. Not like I care about him or anything. Well, that's good, because if you, I mean, it would be weird if you had been a jackass for 11 months. That'd be, that'd be a little silly, even. Good thing you don't care about me, though, so we're good. Anyway, typing ASMR and cats. Hope you guys are excited for that. Aside from more singing practice streams, I would also like to put a little bit more emphasis on just doing chatting streams. I feel that I've tried my hand at being a streamer who chats and games at the same time, or chats during things like the Resolve. And while I'm doing an okay job at it, there's just so much I want to talk about that I feel like just having regular Zatsudans might be the move. I've done like 4 total in my entire time here. It's been like a year and a half, and all I've done is like 4 Zatsudans that are just about talking and no gimmick, no special moment, no fucking goofy little thing I'm doing on there. And I want to try my hand at that again, just because I'm kind of, I don't know. I think that's content that I excel at, and I think it's content you guys probably like, because you're little freaks and you like hearing me talk for some reason. So yeah, I definitely want to try to get more of those in. That is my plans for July. Now, let me do my bingo sheets real quick, and then there's a couple other things I want to talk about. Shouldn't be long. I'm going to reset my tracking again because my hand is behind my back for some reason, even though it's not. Hey, look at that. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Why is it doing that? That's really weird. Let's try again. Oh, it got worse. Hold on. What if I just do this? See, that's a little bit better. Okay, cool. Okay, so there we go. It's like, what is happening? I was gonna say something else, and I can't remember what it was anymore. Hey, thank you for being a Ruzader. Welcome. Yes. Right.
By the power of this hand, I absolve you from your existence.
Okay, there you go. See, just like that. So bingo for last month. I definitely got a bingo. I kind of fucking crushed it or whatever. I'm just saying. All I did was 2 whole bingos. Pretty good. But there's some changes to the bingo sheet. I gotta make a few changes. I was so close. So close to getting 2 more bingos. All I needed was an Armus collab and a collab outside Stars-EN, but I didn't do that. I mean, I kind of did sort of an Armus collab with Minecraft, but like, it wasn't a full Armus collab, so that doesn't count because Goldie wasn't there. And I did not collab outside Stars-EN at all, unless you count Caption Ghost, which was pretty funny, but I would not call that a collab necessarily, though I do still want to see if I can maybe get involved in a campaign. Anyway, later. We'll talk about that later. Man, my tracking is going fucking bonkers. What is going on, brother? Let me fix my bicep. My fucking shredded arms. I don't care anymore. Maybe I could fix it like this. Maybe I'm a genius. It's gonna have to be good enough. So, top row, didn't you beat Minecraft? Holy shit, I beat Minecraft. You're fucking right. It's just never registered as a game I could beat in my life, but you're right. I got 3 bingos. Let's go. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So actually, maybe I'm the best. Maybe I'm the best there ever was. Maybe I'm simply the best streamer alive. Okay, so I got 3 bingos. I almost had 5 bingos. All I needed was 2 collabs, but oopsies, didn't do that. I would also like to try and get in some gaming with Ruzaders, but I don't know what that looks like just yet. I would maybe do some night rain runs or something just super casual for like 2 or 3 hours, you know. Though I guess 2 or 3 hours in night rain is really only like 2 or 3 runs, but whatever. I'll figure it out. Maybe something that's a little more fast paced than that. But I don't want to just keep falling back on the same games to do with the Ruzaders, so we'll see. We'll do a community night of some sort though. That is definitely a goal. But let's talk about my goals for next month, shall we? Okay, so a couple small changes here. One, I want to get a Zatsu in, at least one, preferably more. That is a new one. I want to get a Zatsu in. I'm going to crash out at some point. I'm taking that as a free space. That's not something I want to do. It is something I will do, so I may as well put it there. I would like to get more singing practice in. That's a brand new one. I left a couple of these, obviously, but I would like to shitpost more because I'm tired of holding my tongue. I've done it. I did the idol journey. I'm excited that I did that. I'm not saying I'm done being an idol. I'm just saying I'm going to let the reins off just a little bit more. You're going to have to fucking deal with it. You're going to have to fucking deal with it. Also, I left book club on there purposefully because I've skipped out on book club for like almost, I think over half a year now, especially if you account for the Xenokuni arc. So yeah, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of not having that done. So I'm going to be doing that this month. And then, you know, you got your usual Stars-EN collab, Adopted, collab outside Stars-EN, Armis collab, beat a game, draw, selfish stream, endurance over 8-hour stream, hand cam, lore, karaoke, a 3D stream. That's a new one technically. 3D stream's new. Does this count as your 3D stream? Yeah, but like, I'll do another one. I don't think I want to give myself that much of a freebie. That's a little too easy. But yes. Lore and shitpost at the same time. Most of my lore posts are shitposts, so yeah, probably. Yeah. You're right. You're correct. How did you know? How did you know this? I have approximate knowledge of many things. 2 crash out boxes is cheating. No, it's not. I have 1 crash out box and 1 ISP crash. Those are different. All right. ISP crash, you don't get to see me crash out. That's different. That's different. Nah, they're the same. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because if that's the case, I would be filling this shit out with stuff I'm doing off stream all the time and you'd be fucked. All right. That's like saying, oh, Ruze, you read a book off stream. That doesn't count. Take book club off there. Oh, Ruze, you were thinking about Hollow Marcher stuff and doing behind the scenes prep. Take that off there. Like, fuck you. That doesn't count. It's not the same thing. What would you crash out on? I don't know, dude. It's just there because I crash out too much and I wanted a freebie. What are you gonna do about it? Crash out? I will fucking crash you right now. I will send you hurtling down from the fucking stars so that your face can make a crater like the world has never seen before. I will set you upon this planet like a plague. You will land with such aggression and hatred that you will form the largest great lake this world has ever seen, and for generations to come they will say, who the fuck was that nerd? And they will whisper in hushed tones of the Ruzader who fell from the stars. No, I'm not crashing out. Kiki, thanks for being a Ruzader. Also, I like your little gentleman potato. So, that's it for bingo for now. Those are my goals for bingo. Now you know what I want to get done this month. Now you know what I'm kind of holding myself accountable to. What the fuck is my arm doing? Ah! Oh, sorry. Dowie. Dowie. Okay. Let me just... Okay, so, now, just a couple other notes. First of all, let me reset myself, again, apparently, because, my arm is being completely possessed by a ghost. Again. Alright, that's it. You know what? Fine, we'll do a full reset. Hold on. This'll teach you. Wow, guys, did you see that? I had to unplug my my still suit. Guys, my leader John, my catch pouches and my still suit, I had to take the wire out on them. Isn't that funny that I said that reference? That's really funny and relevant to everybody right now because we're all talking about Dune again. Wow, that tracking's really good now that I fully reset. Anyway, yeah. Yep. Is this a Dune joke? It is. Lisan al-Gaib! I am not Lisan al-Gaib. Unfortunately, I refuse to partake in the old stereotype of white guy, the better samurai, or whatever the TV tropes archetype is. Have you guys noticed how often like media was about that, like in the past? And it still kind of happens sometimes. And don't get me wrong, like I like cultural exchange. I think it's funny to have like a character that's out of their culture be inserted into another culture and see how they interact in that culture. That's fun. But man, there is a lot of media of some random white dude washing up on like a shore and being like the better samurai or the better like hunter or the better Fremen. And I'm like, that's interesting. Now, Dune does address this really well by completely acknowledging this is fabricated and is a manipulation of a culture that did not know better by generations of indoctrination into a religion that was external to their planet, that was made to set up the approach of this guy. But it is one of the few medias that acknowledges it, and I respect it for that. But most media does not acknowledge that. I'm like, yeah, no, hold on a second. Quicksilver, thank you for being an asshole. Welcome. The Bene Gesserit ruse. Yes, I know. The Bene Gesserit ruse. I see what you're saying. The ruse that they... No, I'm playing a Mentat, actually. I'm not playing a Bene Gesserit, because I think it's silly that you could play Bene Gesserit. I considered playing a Swordmaster, but there's no axes in that game, and swords are cool, but they're not, like, long swords, so I'm like, he's cool, it's alright. But I want to play a Mentat, because first and foremost, behind these fucking massive gains and my beautiful body and my cookie color hair and the scars and the big axe I wield, my main weapon is my Dwayne. Side note, you should add possessed by something to your bingo with how many times your captures get hijacked, right though? Holy shit. Also, thank you for the soup. I work out at the library. Okay, so, let's quickly hit a few other talking points that I have written here. Let's see. So, one, great job to me. I did less collabs, and I know that that sounds bad, and everybody's like, oh, but we want more collabs. That's nice. I was doing way too many collabs in July. No, sorry, fucking, oh my God, I forgot my months. May. I was doing too many collabs in May. Am I right? May? Oh, May. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck am I out of my mind? I was doing way too many collabs in May, and yeah, my brain is my weapon. What are the months? And I'm glad that I'm taking a break from those. I hope that you guys can tolerate me taking a break from those, and by I hope that you guys can tolerate me taking a break from those, I mean, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm gonna do whatever I want. And one of my goals was to do less collabs. I did less collabs. Good for me. I intend to continue that a little bit, but I will still be doing a few here and there, just not as many. Wow, the tracking, the fucking, what did you, you know what, I'll show you. This will teach you. Uh-oh. Okay. I was like, wait, my body's not moving. Yeah, I almost beat a game this month. I was very close. Will this week be the end of Grounded? I don't know. I hope you guys are excited. I hope you're excited for me to beat it. I want to, as a special little treat, I hope this week will be the end of Grounded, but as a treat, on Be Nice to Bugs Day, on the Ant Hugging Day, the Ant Hugging Championship Day, I will be doing a farewell to Bloodcap Keep, where I will probably play solo. I'll just talk to you guys about Grounded and the journey through it. Yeah, and kind of like our favorite moments from start to finish, when, you know, it was like Axel, Octavio, Shinri, and I, and then eventually boiled away a little bit, and it was just kind of like Axel and Shinri and I, and then it was Shinri and I for a little bit, and I think Axel is probably going to want to be there for the finale, which is great. And talk about like the building of Bloodcap Keep, and obviously the strip club, and kind of like our arc through our little play styles that we had, and figuring out that we can get pet ants. It's been a long time coming. It's been like a year. It's been like a year in the making, this finale. But after the finale, I kind of want to have a post finale where we just kind of appreciate the game and appreciate Bloodcap Keep, and hopefully close it out a little bit. It'll probably be a solo stream at that time, on that day, which I think is on the 14th, and then yeah, it'll be fun. If you guys want to be there for sort of a little bit of closure and a little bit of a goodbye, farewell to Bloodcap, show up. It'll be fun. A final farewell to Grounded, yeah. I'm a little sad about it, but also kind of excited to close the chapter and see where the next one takes me, because I love survival games. I have found I have an exceptional desire to build beautiful things in survival games, which is not how I used to partake in them. I was definitely the guy who went out and killed everything and came back and gave resources to whoever the builder was. And I'm still that guy. I love killing things. I love adventuring. I love sneaking around and stabbing things in the ass. But there's an equal part of me that enjoys building, which just means I get twice as much game. And I love that. I have found a resurgence in my love of survival games. I can't quite partake in the way I want to. So before I was in the government, the way I would play survival games. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Before I was in the government, the way I would play survival games is I would hop on whatever the most public server I could find was, and just kind of be a fucking weirdo. I would try to get as much social interaction as I could. I'll tell you a story one of these days about a couple survival games I played, and just ways I've either harassed people or ingratiated myself into groups I should not have been in, or made friends. There was one time I was playing DayZ once, and I got handcuffed by a guy, and he had a gun, and he handcuffed another new player I was running around with, or like fresh spawn, on the coast, and he fed us both bleach and then made us box to death. I think the other guy died to bleach poisoning before the boxing match quite finished. I somehow survived the bleach poisoning, and then I went on to befriend the gunman until I betrayed him with a fire axe to the back of the head, which is funny, after we became good friends. Anyway, point is, I cannot do that with survival games because I am now a corporate entity, and I cannot risk running into somebody who just starts spamming slurs at me. So I can't partake in that way, but I can still at least enjoy sort of the single player experience and just pray to high heaven that I find people who are as brain rotted about survival games as me to play with. Peter Grounded, would you still love us if we became worms, Mr. Bugman? No. No, I would not. I would put you in some dirt and be like, enjoy. But thank you for the soup. Cool Beans, can I find Yowie of that gaming experience? No. That's crazy, Watt. I love that. Okay, here's the thing. If you're a worm, God, I shouldn't get into this again. I'm gonna make this quick. I'm gonna make this really quick. Here's the thing. If you are a worm, you no longer have the mental capacity to function as a person. You do not have the logic centers in your brain, nor the chemical reactions needed to understand love, compassion, joy. You have lost all memories. You have hard reset as a being. There is no longer any point in me loving you because you have essentially died. A new being is in your place and you are dead. Will I take care of that worm out of some passing memory of you as a person? Maybe. I'll put you in a little tank, make sure you don't get eaten by a bird, but you are dead. So no, I will not love you in the classic sense more than I love a regular earthworm, probably. That's it. All right, I'm not getting into it too deep. Yeah. Also, Caption Ghost this month. Wasn't that weird? Wasn't that fucking weird? being possessed multiple times. But you can still love us. Sure, I love the memory of you as a person. Do I love you as a worm? Probably not. I need to get back in contact with Allegro and Aya and see what's going on with that campaign. But I also need to talk to Cover and see if I'm allowed to participate in that. But who knows? Oh, he loves us. Well, not you. If it was a loved one, which none of you are. I found 2 separate D&D-ish or TTRPG caption ghosts, and that is never not going to be crazy to me. That was bonkers, but really funny. Really funny. Yeah, caption ghost. Yeah. I do not love you. Do not clip it. That's not true. Dude, the clip of like the 2 points of view is so fucking good. Oh God, I need to start clipping my channel or something. I gotta start putting some shorts up. I gotta get on that. God, I have so much work to do. There's so much things I need to catch up on besides homework. Never enough hours. Dude, the clip was so good. It's so funny. Ah! Start posting highlight shorts. Well, I gotta actually highlight it first. It's a lot of work, dude. Or I gotta hire a clipper, but that takes forever and it's expensive. And, you know, I'm a loser, so. I'm clippable? You think I'm clippable? You mean that? Do you really mean that? You think I'm clippable, really? Thanks. No? All right, Alice Sato, fine. You know what? Well, I don't think that you're actually a deliverer of souls. So, when's the last time you delivered a soul? You're washed. Washed. Teeth or clip editor? You decide. Well, it's probably got to be teeth, unfortunately. So, it is what it is. Today, if you test me, I'm testing you. Do it. Take my soul. Deliver it unto its rightful end. I fear neither God nor man, nor the endless oblivion that awaits me beyond this reality. If only we left timestamps for streams so you can make highlights for shorts. You guys timestamp. Well, sometimes. I mean, listen, timestamping is fucking hard, and I stream pretty long a lot of the time. I do not expect anybody to do that, but if you do that, that's very nice of you. Thank you. But, ew, God, God, that was, I almost displayed true gratitude. Yucky. What was I saying? There's a, I forgot what I was gonna say. Fuck! I fudge. Also, I'm gonna stop cursing as much. I'm gonna do a challenge stream where if I curse, I have to do like 5 push-ups or some shit. I gotta stop cursing. YouTube's never gonna push my content if I keep cursing. All right, here we go. All right, guys, let's work on this together. We're gonna refine ourselves as content creators. You as the audience, me as the ruse. I'm gonna start cursing less. I'm gonna say, darn, dang, golly. What's another not curse? God, frick. Fuck 'em Supreme remains. I'm keeping fuck 'em Supreme. We'll have to like Supreme or something. We gotta Supreme. That'll have to be it. Yeah, that. Yeah. I'll swear on your behalf. Thank you. You're a hero. But if I keep swearing, YouTube's not gonna push my shit. And that's bad. That's a danger. Bleep 'em Supreme. Well, diddly. I'm just kidding. I would never say that. I would never say that. That's a joke. I would never do that. Unless. Diddly. That is stag. Futter Nutter Cheese Balls. I don't know where I got this. Neither do I. I would never swear saying I can't swear. That's bullshit. Not 4 kids Ruze. You better believe it. Yeah, so that'd be fun. I think I talked about most I wanted to talk about. Oh, shit. Did you guys get your Anime Impulse meet and greet tickets? Because those sold out fucking quick. Crazy. While I might not have merch, that happened, and that's sort of like merch. And then there's also, like I said, the calendar, so please go check out the calendar when you get a chance. And then on top of that, there's the Ruze plushies, which isn't merch isn't merch you need to get now or whatever, but it is merch that's coming in. So if you guys got your Ruze plushies, toss that up on social media for me, on Blue Sky, Twitter, etc., 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 blah, 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 you know, the fucking dance they do. This is the part near the middle of the video. Well, actually, this is getting close to the end, but I should say, hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and smash that bell icon, because that's when it apparently makes the subscribe button glow now. I think that happens just passively in VODs for some reason, or at least I've seen it in YouTube videos I've been watching. This is also where I'm going to talk about the sponsor for this video. So the video will naturally jump up with a skip ahead button, because I think that's funny too. So the sponsor of this video is Lynn Alexis. Thanks for being an asshole. Skip ad. What else happened while I was on break? I got your fan mail. You little simps. You little goofy. You little dorks. You little dweebs. Cringe. There's a lot of cute fan mail, actually. Some of it was in Japanese, but it was always translated very nicely for me, so thank you for that. All of it was on cute paper. A couple people sent me cute stickers. Somebody sent me a Pokemon card. Damn, I can't say names. I think that's against the rules, and I'm not allowed to talk about what was actually written. But a lot of very sweet fan mail. You guys are a bunch of disgusting little sweethearts. It grosses me out, disgusts me. But it was pretty cute. A lot of people were picking stickers that were like bugs or like cats. And I burned them all. I got rid of them. I shredded them up and I threw them away without reading any of them. They're definitely not in a special box on a special shelf, hidden away from the world, because that's stupid. And that's goofy, and I would never do that. I will say they came late though. God. Some people were like, I'm writing in like October. I'm like, oh shit, dude. Some of it was like, I hope you enjoyed your time in Zenokuni. I hope you have fun in Zenokuni. Like now that you're here, like they're writing when I first got there. I'm like, oh fuck, dude. It was very sweet though to read, and kind of like a trip down memory lane. In a way, it kind of dredged up memories of that time earlier this year and a little bit last year. It kind of like brought me back into that headspace in such a way that I guess it kind of like kicked my brain back into those memories, which was really cool. Yeah, they wrote from the past in a way. It was like it's almost like stepping into a time capsule, as if I had already had them in a box and I just hadn't read them until now. It's kind of nice. Any perfume scented among the fan mails? I didn't sniff them, so not strong enough to just smell idly while reading them. I don't even know if you're allowed to perfume your fan mails. Are you? I don't know. Not as far as I know. Shrug. I got a cool Volcarona card though. I'll say that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I'll say it anyway. It was cool. Why did you sniff your mail, bro? Listen, I read that shit with a glove just in case one of you's putting some weird shit on there. I don't know how many motherfuckers are like slathering like jelly on that shit or whatever. I ain't interested in that. Me putting in a dead rat and sending hate mail. I'm sorry, Aaron, but it does get screened. You can't send me hate mail. I wish you could, because then I would track it to your address. They get screened, so you can't do that. You're not actually allowed to send me any physical merch that could hide anything in it. So as far as I know, it's just like stickers and sometimes cards. But like if it's like a toy or a type of food or like things like that, I don't think those things actually come. So don't do that. You'll be wasting your time. I don't even know if they would send me actual hate mail. I bet you that they would like throw it away. I bet you if you sent me something that seemed mean, they wouldn't get, even if it was a joke, they wouldn't get that and they'd probably toss it, which is a bit of a bummer. Yeah, I think it's mostly paper things that you're allowed to send, basically. Did you get mostly handwritten or typed? It was all handwritten. Well, there was one typed. Everything else was handwritten, which is pretty cute because I haven't seen a handwritten letter in forever. Those weren't even popular when I was a kid, and that was in like 1620 or some shit. Or was it, sorry, what was it, 1258, I think we said? Anyway, the point is, the handwritten letters were out a long time ago, so it's crazy to be seeing them. That's cool. Only flat paper envelopes, stickers, stationery, very small art prints. Yeah, in the year 3. Paper mail that fits in an A4 envelope, as far as I know. You can email cover to ask if you want to send anything. There you go. There you go. Yeah, the problem is the paupers weren't literate back then, so almost all mail was sent by some guy who ran up to you and said it in a rough and tumble voice. Imagine like fucking, I don't know, Aragorn showing up to your door and being like, "My mother sends her regards. Also, your uncle has the sepsis. Also, it's half off in the turnip market today. Your mother told me to tell you this as well. Also, when are you going to get married? And have you gained weight? Would you like me to send a return message?" Anyway, yeah, crazy. Is that your Aragorn brother? No, it's not my Aragorn. What's your Aragorn? Huh? What's your Aragorn? Smart guy. Huh? I'd have to hear him again to mimic him. Sorry. Big stretch. Ah! Perfect. Yeah, I'm alive. Are we allowed to send gifts for your birthday, Ruze? They won't make it to me until like almost my next birthday, probably. And if it is a gift, it needs to be small enough to fit into an A4 envelope and probably be a paper product. So probably just a card is good enough, I would say. Just send like a nice handwritten message if you want to do that. It will take some time to get to me because it does have to go through cover first. So it has to go all the way to Zeta Kuni, through the government, and then back to me. Probably not cash. No, I don't think you're allowed to send cash. I do not think that is allowed. Nor do I think that's probably a good idea to send in the mail. So I can't send you a Switch 2. Afraid not.
Afraid not, friend. Time is money after all, but if you meet me behind the Wendy's, I'll pick that Switch 2 up from you, and I'll play League of Legends on it. You'll never believe. Order and entropy. A never-ending cycle.
Can I send a social security number? Whose? That's fair, Hologuma. That makes sense. Yeah. I really don't think any Ruzeters, like, freak energy enough to, like, track me with a tracker, but honestly, I'm probably inviting that energy by saying that I don't think anybody's like that, so, don't be like that. Yeah, thanks. Don't ever do that. Don't do that. Hey, where's my hand? Hello? Thank you. Also, if you show up on my doorstep expecting friendship, you will probably just meet my sword point. Would recommend you don't do that. You know I keep that fucking thang on me. Not even as a joke. Easy. Thanks for 7 months. Thank you. Welcome back. No. Tracker show you're in my basement? Fuck, how did you know? Shit. Fuck. Urgh. Next time.
I'll get you yet, my pretty. And your little fucking VTuber too.
La 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 bear! Thank you for 9 months of being a jackass. Hey, I like your profile picture. Where'd you get that? That's pretty clean. That's pretty cool. So let's talk a little bit about the future now that we've talked about the Resolve stuff. I think I mostly got everything I wanted to talk about out of the way. Don't forget, we've got book club this month. It's going to be Dune the movie, Dune the second movie, Dune the book. And if you want to, you can play Dune Awakening. You don't have to. I will just be using that as a contrast point to talk about the world as a character. Because spoilers, Dune Awakening does not have Paul Atreides in it. It is in an AU, and they admit that up front at the very beginning of the game. There's a little monologue from Paul Atreides where he's seeing a universe where he was basically never born. And it's pretty interesting to use that to focus on Dune, the planet, as the main character. So I will use that as a contrasting point. So book club, Dune. You can watch the Dune movies if you want, but it's mostly going to be about the book. We will use the book as the focal point. I will not be doing a Dune watch along, sorry, but you can watch Dune if you want. It is not important in this comparison, but if you want it, that's your homework. Just read the book. That is the main thing. What's up, Siggy? Thanks for 9 months of being a jackass. Welcome. Yeah. Cool. Tomorrow, I'm going to be playing Minecraft, starting fresh. Not literally starting fresh, because technically we already beat the game, and I've got a little bit of resources, but I haven't built anything, I haven't done anything. So I'm going to be starting fresh to see what I want to get done. I'm going to see what the other boys have done. I know Shinri's been working on Minecraft offline to do things like an iron farm and a couple other things. I will probably not use that, just because that's just not how I play Minecraft. But I will be working on my own shit, and that'll be fun. And the evening at 9 p.m., I will be doing a tier 2 unarchived singing practice stream. So if you're interested at all in my process and how I am going on my journey as a singer, those are pretty personal to me, mostly because I'm not good. Don't come in there expecting anything clean. Don't expect full song. Wow, where's my hand going? What the fuck? Don't expect anything clean. Don't expect full songs. Expect me to mostly be just kind of showing how I'm learning and what that process looks like. Then Thursday, I'm going to be doing the grounded finale, hopefully. I forgot to tell Shinri about that, though, and Axel, so we'll see if that actually goes through. But I hope that's what's going to happen. Friday, definitely going to be an Armis collab. We'll be playing a game together. That is real. That is happening, unless some dire circumstance says otherwise. And then last but not least, Saturday at 9 p.m. EST, so the EST time slot, I will be doing an unarchived karaoke. It's going to be the next part of the Ruze karaoke. So please tune in and cheer for your favorite and bemoan your least favorite, etc., etc. Also, Minecraft tomorrow. That is going to be at the EU time slot. So that's 1 p.m. EST for those of you on the EST time zone with me. So keep an eye out for that. Just so you know, it's going to be earlier. This one goes out to the EU Zaders. Holy shit. Thank you, Akia. Thank you for the 20 gifted chips. There's a way to do little heart hands, but instead of that, I'm gonna go with thank you. Jax, thanks for the soup. Says, yo, brother, haven't been able to tune into Resolves as of late, but whenever I do, it's always good to see you. Excited for Dune and ready to chug that sand. Delicious. I'm gonna chug all the extra recycled piss and sweat out of my cash pockets. You gotta be careful though. You need to make sure you plug the cords in correctly at your neck, because if you don't, you're gonna be drinking your own liquefied feces. I'd recommend you don't do that. I'm not kidding. That's canonical in Dune. If you're wondering how like deserty this planet is, everybody on this planet has to, like, when they're not at home directly, if they're ever out and about doing anything that is not in their house, they wear still suits that preserve all of the moisture in their body and recycles their sweat, their spit, their tears, any snot, etc., and purifies it and gets rid of the waste and turns it into water to drink. So there you go. That's a fucking desert planet for you, baby. Don't waste moisture. Like an astronaut suit. Yeah, kinda. Worst Dune lore. There's your Dune lore. All right, so I think that's everything I wanted to talk about for the most part. I think I touched on all the little points I left myself. Let me see. Yeah, I took my little break. I talked about everything I got up to on my break for like almost 2 hours, so that was most of the resolve. Read Dune. Don't forget book club is happening for real this time. Dead serious. I loitered in a swamp. I beat Minecraft, so I did beat a game last month. And I'm gonna beat a game this month if I beat Grounded. Ooh. Okay, I think I talked about everything. Let's go. Gamer Girl Moisture Suit. Holy shit, can I sell Gamer Guy Moisture Suit water? Would you guys buy my Moisture Suit water? Would you guys buy my Catch Pocket water? Hey everyone, thanks for coming into the stream today. Today I want to talk about my new product, Gamer Guy Moisture Suit water. You can drink it through your nose. You're welcome. It's selling for $500 per liter. Can you go on another break? No. No, you're stuck with me. Can I produce a liter of it? Well, probably, yeah. And I'm selling it for $5 million. $5 million. Delicious, delicious. I'll pay you. I'll pay for you not to sell that, actually. I'm sensing a sort of like blackmail extortionist business model here, where I promise to do horrible things, and you have to bribe me not to. Exclusive Ruze back sweat? More likely than you think. Buy. Tune in now for exclusive Ruze back sweat. That's right, everybody, down from $2,999 to $2,499. That is a huge discount for those of you unaware. That's an entire 20% off. Now, for the low price of this commercial only, $2,399, you can get yourself some exclusive Ruze back sweat. An entire liter. That's right, an entire liter. Stay moisturized. Enjoy salty good. Anyway, you're welcome. Unsubbing, rightfully so. Listen, if I don't run you all out by the end of this year, then I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Cool. That's all for you gamers. That's the resolve. See you in hell. Also, did you guys see the new Hikaru stinger? It's pretty cool or whatever. See, this is why I hate this guy and why I stay subscribed to keep reminding him that I hate him. Are you guys all here just remind me how much you hate me? I can appreciate the fucking grind, dude. Real respect's real. Okay, let's fucking go. Me too. I'm here out of spite. Thank you for 17 months in Monoplex. Whisper Rain says 1.5 years. Every time we go on break, we pretend we don't miss you. And when you come back, you say something that reminds us why you're here why we're here / positive or negative. Mostly negative, but thank you for a year. Bonk yeet. I hope you guys enjoyed my first stream back in a little while. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the soup, all the chips. Sorry about my cursed fucking hand that apparently won't bend inwards anymore and only goes, what the hell? All right, whatever. I don't care anymore. I don't give a shit. So come on. Yeah, fuck yeah, me too. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you guys had a whatever time. I really don't give a shit. I had a good time yapping. I needed a yap or I was gonna die. We'll see you tomorrow for Minecraft. Thank you for all the chips, soup, support. And the VOD question of the day is going to be, if you had to spend your entire life on a planet that only had one biome, what biome would you want? Ruze, you've gone too far into the bog. Please go back and wash those brainworms off. Seriously though, miss your brand of unhinged. Welcome back. Thanks, Susu, and thank you for the soup. Okay, so what biome would you want to spend the rest of your life in if you could only pick one biome? One. And all the problems that entails. So if you pick like rainforest, you're dealing with some really big bugs and a couple parasites in there. If you pick like a plains biome, you probably got to deal with very large, very fast predators. If you pick like a desert, I mean heat, lack of moisture, terrible shit, etc., etc. What are my choices? That's for you to decide. And I will say this to you right now. It is this statement that I had to say, which is thank you, Josephina, for 16 months of being an asshole. Welcome back, Ruze. It's good to have you back. Even if you curse us with what you say, very much I missed it. Thank you. And always remember, Ruzeters, the only thing that matters is that